going to kick this off in just under 3 minutes. So it should be a fantastic day of football here coming your way. All right, we are going to have a little bit of a look at the team lineups in just a moment. So let's have a look at the team lineups. We have there for the Giants, we got O'Halloran comes in. Leo is out for the Giants. And of course, Brent Daniels, his milestone game of 100 games. Good stuff to him. Well done. Good luck. Good luck. We've got for the Gold Coast Suns, we've got Weller coming in. We've got Swallow coming in and Sexton coming in there for the Gold Coast Suns. Ainsworth, Davies and Rosa is out due to suspension for the Suns. We just run down there, have a little bit of a look at the... Let me just try and straighten this up for folks out there. I'll try and get this a little around that way. How does that look? How does that look? Try and get that a little bit better. There we go. All right, there we go. So there it is, folks. There's the lineups as you see. Of course, looking at today, we've got the favourites, the Giants coming in at 141. The Suns outsiders at 286. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a cracking game. If we can pick a winner, we'll be pretty happy. We'll be pretty happy. But this could go down to anyone's game. Is that still straight? I'm trying to just bring that up a little bit straighter so it's more seeable for everyone. Stand by, folks. I'm just trying to correct this so I get the screen a little bit more level. Maybe just tilt the screen down a little bit. Hey, Sniper, how you going, Squire? How you going? How you doing in there today? All right, so this game is not too far away from the bounce. 30 seconds away. It's going to be a cracking day. We've got 3 matches coming up for you today. And, of course, this is the first one, the GWS Giants versus the Gold Coast Suns. We're playing this at ENGIE Stadium in Sydney. There we go. Let me just reload that and see if I can get the worm bit up. There we go. That is much better. That's much better. All right, the players are out. I'll just raise that up a little bit more. Tell you what, trying to get that level. Trying to get everything level for everyone. So we can see it a little bit easier. Let me just pull that back a little bit. Try and get this a little bit more level. Anyway, folks, enjoy the game. The ball's about to bounce for the first quarter. Players are on there. Umpires are ready. Players are ready. Let's go to the commentators. Again, good luck. Don't forget, tip your selection. GWS Giants or the Suns. It's going to be in for a great first quarter. Enjoy, folks. Here we go.
He's had an influence on this result potentially, but he's a tough tagger, and Noah Anderson, he's had some tags, but he's had some wins and some losses. Let's see how he goes today.
It's going to be a massive matchup. Looking forward to this game from ENGIE Stadium, Saturday afternoon, round 19 footy. Big Ned Moyle, who's been in great form without Wicks, going to have a big role to play against Kieran Briggs, and there's Finn Callahan.
Going to keep a close eye on that Swallow matchup. So we're trying to work through how do they balance out their midfield, particularly with Rao starting on the bench. So does Swallow have a bit more of a task today?
Here's Flanders, who has moved into the midfield the last 4 or 5 weeks and has been sensational, having a wonderful year, drives it in deep. And the Giants, Himmelberg's handball missed the mark for Isaac Cumming. He's been pretty good since coming back into the side since round 16.
And the wind is going to be clearly a factor, Lynchy. It's always difficult playing in the blustery conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Very blustery. He's probably going straight across the ground, if anything, slightly favouring left of screen.
You just see there how far that ball carried from the boundary throw in, and McAndrew will kick a low flat dart towards the top of the square. And Buckley has got that matchup on Ben King. We'll try and clear the
Just
man, but yeah, he's just got there.
Much closer either from Buckley coming in. They would have been wanting some more pressure on Buckley.
Again, they'll attack the top of the square. And Buckley again.
Well, it's a good start by him.
And standing up really well without Sam Taylor. Still only a week or two away with that groin injury that he sustained a few weeks ago.
And a good decision not to ask the coach about going to the Olympics.
Kick wide towards Himmelberg. Slipped through his hands. Humphrey, he needs to have a big afternoon. Another fumble from Lukosius.
Ducked.
And now a chance here. He's a good user generally and just dabs it into the path of Ben King. That's no exception. Nice build-up.
Well, repeat inside forward 50s. They went in twice, really with no system, just a bomb to the forward line, had no representation. This time it was much more controlled. This is what we were talking about prior to the game starting. Just better kicks going inside forward 50, and they can be a much better team. And that one from Lukosius was first class.
Kicked the 3 goals last time they met and gathered around. He played on Sam Taylor on that occasion. Oh, and that's an absolute shank that has not even made the distance.
That's
and
been induced.
the mark is being paid.
Well, it's turned into a fantastic assist, Joey. That's as bad as you'll see from that position. Barely making the distance and missing by 10 to 15 metres. But Jet gets ball in hand as a result.
It's a positive for Walter, who hits it skinny. Another one looking for a big game. Jed Walter. Jared hasn't kicked a goal in his last 4 games. Just take a look at the ball drop and that hit the ankle.
Really hit his left foot.
So that just gives you an idea of how blustery the conditions are this afternoon.
I think Rory McIlroy, if he was watching, he'd be saying, I know how you feel.
Whitfield does the kicking in. I think as far as Mac Andrew, who, speaking about last time they played, he was sensational with the 8 coaches, made 16 intercept possessions that day. It hasn't quite been in the best form, but that's a good kick for Lloyd Johnston, who took an important one-on-one and then goes low, Lukosius. That's another fumble for him early. Golden opportunity gone begging. And here goes the Giants handball game, which might be important with these conditions, because kicking is going to be tough, as you can see there from Whitfield.
Well, they cannot get it past the halfway line. It's been really good start here by the Suns, but haven't been able to impact on the scoreboard. 5 inside 50 to 0.
Make it 6. As it floats in the wind, scrambling to the Giants. Long, who's been in good goal-kicking form. Can he get the bounce to suit? Not quite.
So what we're seeing right now is the graphic that we just showed pre-game. The ability to get the ball inside forward 50 is no issue. 6 to 0 as it currently stands, and the Giants haven't even been in their front half. But can they capitalise?
Yeah, that's the big talking point, and certainly the defence behind the ball. This is where they're really strong, the Suns. They set up behind the ball, put good pressure on, and can turn it over. But just with that congestion forward, they struggle to score. So everything they score is from a lot of hard work.
So going laterally at the moment, GWS. And again, Perryman can't go forward. So set up well here, the Gold Coast Suns. Dominating territory and possession to start this one. Iden will take the contest on. It'll get to the back to young Harvey Thomas, who's been sensational his first season. Here's the milestone then in game 100, and that hurts. First inside 50, first goal of the day.
It's always a way in football. You pepper away, you dominate, and then you just open up the door one tiny little bit, and they go forward. Get a nice little bounce here, good forward handball, and then a good finish. So 5 cracks at the other end, 1 crack for the Giants, and they get on the board. And a good way to start.
Pick 27 in 2017, Brent Daniels. He's had injuries, missed all of 2022, those hamstrings. Game 100, terrific little player. That's a sharp start. Number 1 in the competition for goal assists as well, Brent Daniels. So all that hard work for nothing for Gold Coast. Rouse checked in after starting on the bench, giving away the free kick to Peatling, who wants to get it moving. Tom Green getting a stack of footy in recent weeks.
Push out.
That's going to be against Riccardi.
And that score for the Giants is sort of classic their form as well. We know they're a low inside 50 team. Last week, 36 inside 50s, 23 scoring shots. So they were very efficient once they went in. And they're going to have to probably get a bit more forward 50 entries if they're going to win today, though.
Nobody manned the mark, so Hewlin just took off and kicked to a contest. Walter tries for touch, but Iden was first to get there. Apparently involved a couple of times. Perryman, well, that forward handball is going to be dangerous for Harvey Thomas, who understood the situation and just took the tackle.
Lynchy, bound your side. Which way's that breeze going? Because I already feel there's been a handful of missed kicks and players misjudging the ball.
Well, I think it is very blustery. It's not just consistently going to one end. More than anything else, it's going across the ground. So from the camera side, going to the far wing. But it is very blustery. And I think the Ben King kick, the issue was in the ball drop. So he's dropped it, the wind's hit it, and then he missed his foot. So it is blustery more than consistent.
And Ned Moyle, who was an ice-rated player on the field against Port Adelaide last week, continues in the ruck, Butterick. Under pressure. There is Rao now trying to get in low and hard. Brent Daniels all over him.
Bit of internal competition between Rao and Green, given they went in the same draft. But just have a look at his ball drop. How much you attribute to the wind is debatable, but it did look like it impacted.
Well, again, the Suns just got sucked into the contest, which allowed the corridor to open for Perryman to go across to McMullen. Well done from Hewlin, got the fist in. Ward might have been taken without the footy. There's a couple of tough nuts on the wing there, Holman and Ward. Fonzie just trying to get some territory, but Holman and Callum Ward again, both playing on the wing in recent times, and Callum Ward in particular having a wonderful month of footy as a wingman, as we see there. Again, Bodie Hewlin getting the fist in.
Starting to play some consistent football. Bodie Hewlin, that's a good ability to come back with the ball, keep your eyes on it and affect the spoil.
There is Callum Ward, man we just spoke of. He's kicked 2 goals in each of his last 4 games playing on a wing, and there's Weller. Great to see him getting involved. Flanders, Weller continues to run on the handball, just missed the mark. Another opportunity for Gold Coast goes begging, and the Giants will reload again through half-back.
Geez, it's critical. Skill error like that going forward has turned a shot at goal into potentially a shot at the opposition goal.
This is a more measured build-up from the Giants. Daniels' kick, you heard, was partially touched. Ballard didn't hear the call.
So just balance out this contest a little bit. The Giants, after being dominated for the first few minutes, is getting that field position in their front half.
Moyle again tried to take it out of the ruck, but didn't get a clean possession away. Howe's hands were sharp. Anderson, McAndrew and Sexton back into the side today. All work well and get themselves out of trouble. That's a great kick to advantage for Lukosius. He sees one-on-ones up ahead, but he wants to wait and get some numbers ahead of the ball, which also allows the Giants to set up defensively. So he comes into Rao, who tries to squeeze a kick to Flanders. There's no one that missed the mark, Jared. Almost another turnover it will be.
Kick wasn't on, really.
McMullen's hands to Tom Green, already getting a bit of footy. Callahan knows he can run and carry, gets the 1-2, and he might take on Noah Anderson here. Takes a bounce, takes 2. He sees he's got him covered, runs to 50, and unselfishly tries to go to the top of the square, but there's no one on the same page. And a good build-up.
He was running out of gas. The eyes were lighting up, and he thought, I'm not going to quite get the distance from here. And the Suns had 2 players back. Tried to do the unselfish thing.
He had the big lead out. He just emptied the goal scorer out for Jesse Hogan to either hit up the short or give him a chance to roll it through.
But already a threat on that turnover ball from the Giants off half-back.
That's a good kick.
That's a great kick from Powell. For that man Moyle, he wants to give it off to the user. Closey sees a 1v1. Long spoke about the form he's in. Terrific mark. And he should go back and kick the Suns first.
Well, it was a great one-on-one victory. He ragdolled his opponent. They both had a fair crack at it. But it was a pretty good kick in. And it just goes to show that if you kick it to your teammate's advantage, you give him a chance, if he's got the talent, he'll get the job done. Contested marks inside that forward 50. Looking pretty good at the present time. Still yet to nail a goal, though.
As though his numbers tell the former Saint. Since his return round 8, he's kicked 18 goals and had 15 score assists. He's number 2 in the competition for scoreboard impact. And he continues hitting the scoreboard.
Career best form. Ben Long, he's been superb. Running shotgun with the other Ben, being Ben King. So this is just a methodical build-up. That's a nice kick out to space. It's good for Ned to get into that position to force Briggs to come up the ground and play on him. This is just a genuine one-on-one.
Against a good defender, too.
Gets no slouch at all in Perryman. That's a great grab. But more importantly, finished off the work.
You can see there the stats to go with it, but he's really found a place in this forward line under Damien Hardwick. He's tough, he competes, and he's been setting them up and kicking goals. An important player for the Suns. So the second rucks will do battle now to be Riccardi and Walter. Swallows hold out the football.
And Green would be filthy with that. He's going head-to-head with Matty Rowley. Got the bounce, but the free kick was given away.
Short to Flanders. They racked up disposal number 500 last week. Second quickest of any Gold Coast Sun in history. I'll give you a guess behind who done. Which Gold Coast? Yeah, Gaz.
Has to be Junior.
Did it in 2012 in 15 games.
The answer to most questions, isn't it?
There's Long involved again. Their second fastest 500 disposal in Gold Coast history. Gary Ablett in 2012.
Gary Ablett from getting a hot dog during the game and the ball had bounced to him.
Brow tracks the footy. Flanders was lurking close. He's had a bit of ball. Snaps on the left and too far. Out of bounds on the full.
Not his best closey, but gee, he's had a fantastic start to his career in the AFL. Great get by their recruiting staff. And already today he's got more possessions than any other Sun bar one Flanders.
He was initially in their academy. Sam Closey.
Yep. Not sure what happened there, why he ended up evacuating Queensland, but he came back pretty quickly.
5 Gold Coast Suns playing today have been from the Gold Coast Academy. Giants have got 7 from their own academy, which has been a talking point this year, Jared. The academies.
Yeah, they were.
Toby Green getting up the field. Handball for Riccardi was a bit too sharp. Good pressure here from the Suns. Walter enjoying getting up on ball. Swallows kick, squeeze out wide and won't sit for Flanders.
Suns is kicking at 57% by foot, which probably highlights the style of play we've seen so far. Just some turnovers when they were in flow, opposed to the Giants, who are kicking at 72%. So just using the ball a little bit better going forward.
Yeah, handballing a lot more, the Giants. Almost double.
Riccardi, double slap, trying to put it in the path of Daniels. As bit of scrappy passage at play, tricky conditions. Flanders just tumbles a kick, but well read by Bedford. And the Giants will look to get this handball run and carry going with Ash. Johnston's giving chase. They forced Ash to kick wide, but come in, and he takes it just inside the boundary line.
And it's that kick like from Flanders that you prefer that to be a handball release, and so somebody kicks with no pressure rather than just hacking it forward, because it just gets turned over and now you're defending.
Ash wanting something short. Perryman back to Cumming. A couple of players out of contract for GWS this year.
And plenty of suitors.
And Cumming will kick long down the line. Although it's going to favour the Suns. They were queuing up.
Yeah, that's a horrible kick going inside your forward 50. Actually didn't make it. There was no numbers.
So Powell and McAndrew will combine and they'll switch it to Ballard, who just lost that in the sun. He's going to make it really tricky for himself. He was given too long. Hogan gets the tackle. Darcy Jones takes the advantage. And just like that, they get their second.
And that's why it's a nonsense when people think the Coleman medal should always go to the bloke who kicks the most goals. And here's the classic example. Now, Ballard has a bit of a brain fade here, but that's great pressure from Jesse Hogan. He won't get a nomination on his tally, but that is his goal 100%. And Damien Hardwick, the frustration, you can see it.
And rightly so. If you can't switch the ball to an open target, particularly in your D50, you deserve this. So Ballard's caught in a bad position where he can't see any blue jumpers in front of him, only the orange. And you get your right whack.
You know, that's an error that shouldn't be coming from a senior player.
Yeah, costly mistake. Going to be crucial today. Peatling might have been taken high, it was seen. The outer zone umpire against Noah Anderson. Peeling another one who's put a long time.
Absolutely gone. Why you kick the ball less than 5 metres is beyond me. Or less than 15 metres. You're only putting your teammate under pressure. You can't mark it.
Lloyd Johnston gave it off to Jeffrey. Again, another floater. Another tricky ball for the Suns forwards inside 50. Briggs gets down low. Anderson. No room really at the moment for the Suns, and Buckley just wants to get it out of there. Contest. Cadman going one way, and he's going to win out, and a couple of goes at it, and again they're on through the corridor. It's these half forwards that are dangerous. Daniels assesses his options, saw he had nothing, so goes it alone for his seconds. Great transition from the Giants.
Well, they're just feeding out on the Gold Coast mistakes. They're hacking the ball. They're not under as much pressure as some of their turnovers suggest. And then it's just charge of the light brigade. Orange Tsunami off and running at this stage, and it's by hand, it's by foot, and that's a couple to now, but they've got in exactly the same fashion.
You're right, Jared. Just the Suns aren't handling the moments at the moment at all. I mean, just easy turnovers.
Yeah, it's inside their head at the present time. This victory's away from home because whilst the pressure is okay from the Giants, it's not at the level that we're seeing some of these horrible decisions and skill errors.
Yeah, you're right. I think it looks like there appears to be anxiety about playing away from home when you should be craving the opportunity, and especially at this stage of their development.
He's been playing well without hitting the scoreboard. Brett Daniels hadn't kicked the goal for 3 weeks. He's got a couple already. And now Rao again will drive it in deep. Walter loves to crush a pack. He flew hard. Long try to be creative. And the umpire's going to pay that insufficient intent for trying to be creative inside his own forward 50.
Love to see that one again. That caught us off guard a little bit.
So 12 inside forward 50s for the Gold Coast, and for 1 goal, 2, and only 8 for the Giants for 3 goals, which is exactly their DNA over the last month or so.
Yeah, he's in the box there, Dal. Well, just trying to toe poke it away from congestion. It's penalised.
Penalised for being unusual.
And it'll come back in as again, they'll get an inside 50, although again, it's not really much of an entry from Rao, just a high ball. There were 3 Giants there, but Breeze blew that one.
Well, the handball should have gone immediately because as soon as he delayed, he gave it to Rao. Rao then comes under pressure, so he has to hack kick. They're just not playing instinctively at the present time. The Gold Coast got to get that handbrake off.
As you said, now 13 inside 50s for just the 1 goal. Himmelberg, that Breeze just holds up. Cadman, who's been in good marking form, took 5 marks inside 50 last week. Some of his best football, his short career.
It was great to see last week, Joey. The number 1 pick from a few years ago. He's had some really good moments, but you'd have to say he's been inconsistent to this point, but last week was a big step forward. That's another good start.
He had the 6 score involvements against Richmond, a career high for him. And that's a good kick to the point of the square. Big contest to be won. Briggs got it out to Jones, who throws it on the boot, and fortune favours the brave. This time Hogan might get that goal.
Well done to Briggs. He just fought hard, hacked it forward, and Kingy's favourite player with the hat on, he just nailed it.
And this is probably the most protected part of the ground with the stands all around Jesse Hogan, so it's not as bad as the other end.
Certainly in all-Australian form, Jesse Hogan. He's one of 9 Giants today that have played every game. 45 goals, 16. He's got the unusual stutter, but it's pretty effective. Make that 46.
It was very effective. The more he stutters, the better his kicks are. So keep on doing it 2 or more if you have to. So what we're seeing already from a Suns perspective is they make 1 mistake and they're penalised. So you lose 1 contested possession there and you've got no support out the back. You've got no layers of defence to cover up for any mistake that you may make in a contest or in transition. That's just a scrap kick forward that needs to be brought to ground, at least be able to fight. And another mark inside 50, and Jesse Hogan continues on his way.
Well, you mentioned the efficiency of the 2 sides going inside 50 pre-game, Dale, and that is exactly how this first quarter is panning out.
Well, they're 4 goals straight from 90 inside 50, so those numbers are alarming already from a Suns perspective.
As much as the scoreboard is favouring the Giants, they're going to sort their clearance work out at the moment. They're getting slaughtered, and that will hurt them eventually if they don't sort it out.
Yeah, there's another inside 50. The weight of numbers you'd think eventually will add up for the Suns. Rao on hands and knees. Weller.
And Jared, that was consistent last week as well. Richmond dominated the ground balls, especially through that middle part of the ground. So they got out of jail because they were so efficient forward. But yeah, you don't want to keep rolling that dice.
And 9-3 in favour of the Suns at the moment. Big Moyle. Winston with that back injury. Having some impact. Rao again, head over the footy. Trying to lift his side. Humphrey. Couldn't break through the tackle and looking for Butterick. And then Lloyd Johnston, he wants to try and back himself with his speed, but Whitfield has got good closing space and knocks it out of bounds.
Well, he'd be pretty happy right now. I mean, there's the conditions. It is super windy. It's not easy out there for players, and using hands, much more efficient than using the kicking.
Briggs this time was able to get Moyle off the footy, but not how to turn that into a clearance.
So the Giants are basically 1-to-1 ratio. Kick to handball. Suns are about 2-to-1 in favour of kicking.
There is Noah Anderson. His numbers so far with the tag of Toby Bedford-Dale. Noah Anderson.
Give me a second. Jerry's just had the 2. It's Sam Flanders that's had the 9, so he's been the one from an inside mid perspective that's getting his hands on the footy. Matty Rouse had 6.
Callahan, clever. Green gets the 1-2. Here's the handball game. They're out again. Jones has got wheels. He just lost control for a moment, but had Hogan in space, who looked inboard and then goes to the square. Oh, Cadman dropped an easy one. Daniels missed the mark, and gee, that's a golden opportunity gone begging for the Giants. Oh, they still might have a chance here. Green and Jones. There's the pressure all over the Suns. That should be holding the ball. That's going to be a ball up.
You can see the frustration from Damien Hardwick. Lucky to get away with that one, but that's what the pressure looks like. You want to be the number 1 pressure team in the comp? Got to chase.
Bedford to Cumming. He sprays that out of bounds.
He's a bit stiff there, Jones. I thought that tackle, he had a little prior opportunity given the way it's been interpreted so far this year, and there is the number 1 pressure side in the competition. And right now, the visiting side aren't coping with it at all.
Well, the Suns' pressure is still at a healthy level as well, 188, but
the one side's
clearly
coping with
behind.
it,
Yep.
the other one isn't.
Ballard's kick to a contest, and Swallow, who started this game on ball, they'll pile in.
So he's matched up with Tom Green, who's as good as anybody. He's a big-bodied inside mid. He's had the 8 disposals to this point. Hasn't had a clearance yet, Tom Green.
His clearance numbers are slightly down, but still getting a stack of footy. Tom Green, there he is. That's a big hit on Swallow. And again, Gold Coast win a clearance. Can they make something of it? Sexton, clever, into the path of Rao, who's going to look for a mark inside 50. That kick to advantage was a beauty. That's better ball movement.
I would have been tempted to go on and kick that goal if I was Jack Lukosius from the goal line, but he's heard in the point of safety, and that's fair enough. But these windy conditions, nothing is a certainty. But good to see them just getting some flow into the forward line.
Lukosius, another one that's been hitting the scoreboard since he moved back to a permanent forward. In the last 8 weeks, he's kicked the 15 goals, kicked a couple against Port Adelaide. There should be no problems from there. And the Suns get their second.
So it's a little bit more like it. And you'd love to think that the Suns players acknowledge this. So here's the big hit from Tom Green. Oh, yeah, arms are in the air from Swallow. He's a tough kid. He gets up and goes again. But it's a little bit more of a hack kick forward. But this is the creativity and the challenges that causes the defence. Not as predictable. Yeah, the coach is running a good pattern out the back, forcing Himmelberg to try and track the footy.
There's a nice kick from Rao coming in, Ripper. They haven't hit too many targets, but that one from Matty Rao, absolutely superb after a very clever tap over the top. Set that one up.
It all started from the clearance win at half-back for the Suns. You mentioned the clearance game.
Yep, these will be addressed by the by the Giants. It used to be a real strength of theirs, but right now they're getting a lesson.
Bedford's got the responsibility with Peatling and Tom Green, and they get involved here to win a clearance for the Giants. The ball towards half forward. Toby Green hasn't really been involved too much yet, although that was clever. Trying to put it in the path of Cumming, who tries to tap it in the path of Daniels, who wants to step against the traffic. Did it really nicely. Bedford had Briggs, who finally broke the hoodoo and kicked the goal last week, but that's a beautiful pass.
They'll get kicked out of the ruckman unit if you keep kicking it like that. Don't kick balls like that, the average ruckman. And he's no average ruckman, of course, but there was a really clever tap on that started this, getting it from outside to some inside to out. And then Toby Bedford released the big fella.
Just off one step, lace out for Jesse Hogan.
Oh, did he mean that? That was
Great question, Archie.
outstanding.
And we mentioned the goal kicking form that Hogan's in. Loves playing here at home. And again, strikes that beautifully. He's in good touch, Jesse. 5 straight.
Well, let's see where this goal emanates from. And there's a little pack here, and then there's the tap out. And that tap out, so important in today's footy, just to release the footy from congestion. Creates this up, and well, you don't need Josh Kelly when you've got Kieran Briggs.
It's a lovely finish.
Yeah.
We are tongue-in-cheek about the ruckman using the ball like that, but if they can put it out in front of a leading forward, it only helps.
Seems it's a good start from Jesse Hogan. He's in pursuit.
Is he in your All-Australian team?
He is, yeah. I think he's had a fantastic season.
And as you said earlier, he's putting the defensive pressure on as well. And at that time, he said he doesn't really get the recognition there, but he's got on the end of some nice work later on in the quarter. So outstanding.
Yeah, the number of goals is just a number. That's all it is.
5 shots apiece, but at the 15-point lead for the Giants in this first quarter, that should be another ball up.
It's a fair gang tackle. The coach will be pretty pleased. He saw his side really stumble out of the blocks, gave a number of shots at goal away, but they've settled pretty well. And I think Damien Hardwick, at quarter time, particularly if they can pitch another goal back, you say, look, we're doing so much right, but we're hearing this message week after week. We're doing so much right, but they have got to finish.
We just saw the numbers there. I think they'll say 70% of time in forward half for the Suns so far. So if you're Damien Hardwick, you're still pleased that at least the game's on your terms. You're just not capitalising.
It's a tough conversation to have at quarter time because, as we just said, you're doing so much right, yet you're getting the same results as you've had away from home throughout the course of this year. So Noah Anderson's the one they could move possibly forward the football just to change up that dynamic. Hasn't had a heap of it yet.
Whitfield, it was excellent against the Tigers last week. So was Tom Green. I think he was going to kick it and then decided against it and just dropped it cold, but it might work out. Bedford strings inside 50 and he's almost missed the foot as well. Seen a couple of them today. And now Powell will get involved a couple of times. And Gold Coast will use the hands, and that's another ordinary kick, this time from Flanders.
Jeez, it was disappointing, that defensive running from the Suns. So the Giants are just releasing off the half-back line. They're running past Suns players in big numbers.
And it's Whitfield. It's been getting a stack of footy the last couple of months. Kick into the pocket, Green got hands to it. Wasn't able to bring it down. And now Butterick looking for a forward to come at him. Hugging the boundary line, and again it's Lukosius that just got goal side. King with a crumb. He sees grass in front of him. Another one, the ball didn't bounce properly. Makes it a bit of a tougher angle, and he tries to finish and shanked it on the full.
Well, that's horrible football. We'll come back to that. But just have a look at the numbers in the orange. Here's the tsunami running past the various players in the blue. They just keep going and going. Here's another one. There's a support run. They're just running straight past. And then we're going to just have to accept there's going to be some shocking kicks today because of how blustery that wind is. But Ben King, he needed to centre that ball. He had 2 blokes 15 metres out from the square. You can't expect to be kicking them from the boundary line today. Let's have a look at this. When he's had a fumble, so he's mentally under the stress. And from there, you look at the top of the square, there's a couple of players there that would have been able to take a chest mark. So working hard, winning the ball well, just got to make better decisions.
and maybe the last opportunity of this first quarter. Moyle had a set play going with Long, but the ball went too far. Peter King, he's been in goal-kicking form, another one coming into today with the 45 goals, but only a couple of score assists. Clearly the least of any of the top 50 goal kickers in the competition. Had the chance to lay one for a teammate, but went for home, and now Buckley with Walter. It's a 2v1, so Buckley knows he can't just lock it in, but he's trying to create a stoppage, and I think he's pleased with that.
He did really well there. Buckley knew if that released it was going to be a turnover. Suns would be away again.
Giants start, Kieran. Here goes.
Umpire Lee Fisher.
Still find that odd how you're allowed to wait for people to get to a stoppage. If you're not there, play on.
Daniels has kicked 2 in this opening quarter.
You with me on that, or is that just me? So, so if the ruckmen aren't there, it's
Yep.
okay to pause the game to allow them to get there. If you're not there, you're not the ruckman.
Yeah, it's a good battle, though, this one. Even if we do have to wait. Special rules for the rucks, we know that.
Well, now when they can kick it like Bricks did, we accept it.
There won't be time for any more score. Tricky conditions at ENGIE Stadium. It's blustery, but there's plenty to play for. And it was the Giants who handled it better in that first quarter. 5 goals straight, 2 to that man, Brent Daniels. Gold Coast still looking for their first win away from home in season 2024. They're in this contest. Good game of footy. Don't go anywhere. We're back right after this.
All right, folks, it's Annie. Oh, Banas is Annie. How you going, Annie? What's going on? How you going? Good to see you. Just want to say good day to the sniper who popped in there during the quarter. I'm $7. How you going, Squire? What's happening? Chris, g'day, mate. Good stuff. You'll enjoy KO for sure, as I was saying. There is lots to watch. Just the footy programs on the couch, all that type of stuff. That's always a favourite on the couch with Gary Lyon, Brown and Bucks on a Monday night, I think, plus all the footy. It's good stuff. You'll enjoy it. As I said, I just have KO during the footy season to cover this and watch the footy, being a footy lover. So I know we never love giving the Murdochs all that money because they're, I think KO should be a little bit cheaper than what it is, but Adrian doesn't know yet. You'll have him confused, guessing. So all good stuff, Annie. Good stuff. But it should be good. Chris having KO. And, of course, mega love shout out. And welcome to my manager, T-Name Bem Bem. Thanks for coming in, Dave. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Multitasking there. There we go. Doing well. Popo. YouTube, cleaning. Santa all. Ryan, how you going, Squire? Happy Saturday. Hope you're going to enjoy all the footy today. Just before I do this, it is in the other game today. St Kilda are leading 3-3-21 to West Coast, 2 goals straight. That's quarter time over yonder over there. But it's a little bit of a blustery day there in this game between the Giants and the Suns. The Giants brought a little bit more pressure in that first quarter. Their pressure gauge was up to about 220, where the Suns were 188. Giants running through the center of the ground in waves. They do look a little bit better at the moment and finding their targets. But that being said, the Suns aren't out of this game by any stretch of the imagination. And yo, Eddie G, what's going up? Yeah, Siggy, no worries, badass. I will, yeah, just in case. There we go. So it's not too bad a game. Of course, let's have a quick look at the player stats. Let's have a look at the disposals on this match. Let me reload that because they're not up there. There we go. Sam Flanders. Well, have a look at that. 12 disposals. Having a pretty good game there. With 12 disposals, 5 kicks, 7 handballs, 1 mark, 2 tackles. Let's just run down a few of these because we've only got a few minutes before the bounce of the second quarter. Tommy Green there for 10. Lockie Whitfield, he's having a good quarter there, 9 with 4 kicks. Harry Perriman with 9. Swallow was 7. Matty Rao with 7. Let's just run through it a little bit more. There we go. As we can see. Jesse Hogan, for the Giants, 4 kicks. He's kicked a couple of goals. He's kicking extremely accurate. He's doing really good there. If you're a Giants supporter, tell you what, if you're a Giants supporter, you'd be very happy with the way they're playing at the moment. But yeah, they've left the door open for the Suns. The Suns aren't going too bad. They just need to find their targets up front. So that is some of the stats for your players. Let's just have a look at the goal scorers on the ground at the moment. Of course, we've got Jesse Hogan there. Second on the Coleman medal. I think only just 2 behind the leader. He's kicked 2 from his 4 kicks. Brent Daniels 2 of his 7 disposals there for GWS. Lucas's, I think that's how you say it. He's kicked 1 and Ben Long's kicked 1 for the Suns. Darcy Jones, the other one as well. Of course, Brent Daniels was the first goal scorer of this match. If you're interested in the first goal scorer, which sometimes you can get, but that is it. Let me just have a little bit of a quick sneak peek. We're just still a couple of minutes away from the bounce. Where is, just have a quick rundown of the team stats. Pretty even in all disposals, inside 50s. There we go. The Suns have had a little bit more, but their efficiency isn't the best just at the moment. With 6 scoring shots, although 6 scoring shots versus 5, they're just kicking a little bit wayward. Sometimes they're missing the boot because the wind is just quite blustery. Percentage disposal. GWS doing a little bit better there, as I said. I think that's due to the pressure that the Giants are bringing. Giants in front on the hit-outs, of course, 14-8. Clearances, the Suns are in front there, but some of the important stuff, the centre clearances, pretty well even there. Stoppage clearances, 10-4 to the Suns. Contested possessions, there we go. Only 9 in it to the Suns. But you know what? We are heading back. There are the marks. There are the defensive. All right, folks, let's get back because this game is underway. Good luck, both teams.
They're kicking at just 50%. The Gold Coast Giants up at 70%.
I reckon they're kicking at about 20% once it's inside their forward 50.
Can they get some polish in their game, get some reward for effort? Anderson's got the tag of Bedford. Rao starting this quarter in the centre bounce after starting the game on the bench. They've got the big 3 in there, Flanders, Anderson and Rao. Callahan, Bedford and Peatling for the Giants as Moyle gets some territory. Walter playing in front, takes the mark.
Like that one, he read it really well. Got the big body out in front.
Taking a couple of marks already, the big boy. He's going to head into the pocket towards King. Kick wasn't to advantage.
He's saying he wants it dropped forward. That's fair enough, but it is so blustery. There's not going to be no silver service. And it was interesting that there were 3 Giants around him, so they are all expecting the ball to go to King. So they're going to have to come up with plan B and C and maybe use King as the dummy.
Yeah, it might suit Jed Walter. A bit more of these tricky conditions, having to win a bit more contest inside that forward 50. Hogan presenting up the field for his defenders to kick to. Peatling there.
So have a look at that ball use from the Suns in that front half. So just going at 40%, which is well below the expectation at this level of footy.
I think Daniels dragged it in. They thought that Holman did.
Interesting matchup on young Darcy Jones. It's Mac Andrews, smallest bloke versus tallest bloke. There's Mac Andrews.
And it's going to favour Darcy Jones. He's out goal side. He wants to just pull the kick. It was a great option to Jesse Hogan, who just found a pocket of space.
Well, that matchup hurt them in the finish. They were backing Mac Andrews on the ground and in the air, but Mac Andrews went the ball, didn't get it. Darcy Jones, he was off and running, and he makes good decisions. Have a look at this kick. I mean, it had to be weighted nicely. It was a little chip. And Jesse Hogan, he lines up for his 3rd.
It's been the difference so far. The class of the kicking of the 2 sides, particularly going inside 50. Hogan seeing them well. Loads up for number 3, but never online.
At quarter time, I went out into the middle of the ground to try to get a bit of a hand on which way the wind is actually going, and I spoke to a few of the Giants defenders and they said, we've got no idea. It's just all over the place.
Good grab.
That's Briggs.
If in doubt, go long and cheat for those defenders. Swim between the flags.
That's probably why they play in defence, Dale.
That's right. Thank you, Lee.
Play on.
So they're coming, or kicking towards the pocket. Suns have got the numbers, big Moyle. Having a terrific season. Only just played the 6 games, but
Good prospect,
on first crack, the impact that he's having when he does play. Biding his time behind Jared Witts. Signed a 4-year contract extension earlier this season.
Which was a surprise to a number because I think there's plenty of clubs that were after him.
And you can see why too, can't you, Lynchy? He's ready-made. There's Moyle. There's Walter with his brute strength. And then realised he couldn't take possession, so tried to knock it onto the path of Sexton. Ball didn't bounce. Clever, yeah, that was from Briggs. And again, Jones is out goal side. He thought about taking on Flanders. Instead, he stopped and propped and made it difficult for Himmelberg. Turnover. Chance for the Suns. Well done, Buckley. No, Cumming it was, in fact.
Good pressure by the Suns. They forced Darcy Jones into a poor handball. Should have been his left hand. He went with his right, did the rotation. Didn't hit the target. And they turned it over.
That's great ability to come forward, not allow the Suns to run the length of the field.
Giants have that extra defender at the moment, and they work together, Ash and Iden, and they want to come through the corridor, and they do again. Look at him lining up. Ash has Peatling shotgun. Didn't see Johnston. He was caught blindsided, and this might be costly on the counter-attack, although Rouse handball for Johnson gave him no hope. And the Giants defending turnover really well. Callahan floats the ball towards McMullen. And now Tom Green around the body. One-on-one ball. Not many people beat Collins. He didn't have to, Cadman, because he's got Bedford in support. They are full of running here, the Giants. Toby Green, always clever. Kicked it around the body to Harvey Thomas, who's taken the mark, and he'll be favoured on his left foot. Just doing it a bit better at the moment, GWS.
Yeah, just executing. Both teams had multiple opportunities off turnover. Choosing to go by hand and use that out number. And it's just simply the Giants using the ball better.
Really like the way this kid goes about it. Pick 59, another academy product.
Play on.
Shouldn't be a problem for a man of his talents.
Yeah, he's been a great find. An absolute young player coming into the competition. They've certainly focused on recruiting a lot of these small forwards. They've got a couple of others coming through the system that we haven't seen just yet, but there's just a huge gap between the way the Suns are moving the ball and the way that the Giants are moving the ball. Toby Bedford, he'd be just pleased to be out there.
There's Harvey Thomas, goal number 9 for the season. He's been sensational. So goal number 3, goal number 9. He's played every game. And there is Sam Taylor. Oh man, they'll be looking forward to getting back very soon.
He's put his hand up to play next week.
They make their run towards the finals. The Giants. The VFL teams played earlier today. GWS v Gold Coast. The Giants won that by 28 points. Phoenix Gothard, another young recruit we haven't seen yet. 4 goals and 19 disposals. And
Definitely holding on Flanders.
Nick Haynes with the 37 disposals in the VFL.
It's only a tiny little one, but the umpire's right there.
So Flanders, again, just wants to drive it in deep. That's better from King. Strong contested mark.
That's great work prior to that ball getting to that contest. I mentioned it before, Jared. It's not going to be a day of perfect kicks where you can lace it out.
Yep. No, this is his best.
So you have to do your body work prior. Gets in that front position, extends the arms, and the reach is just far too difficult to get back from Buckley.
Probably should be bending over a little bit more just to minimise the drop zone, but he's got some protection from the stand.
No, he shanked his first crack at goal, and he's absolutely shanked his second as well. So both have gone across the face and not even registered a score. And now it might be in his head.
Both times. First one dropped badly on the inside. Let's see how this one looks.
Lynchy, when does it start to become in the head when you've sort of shanked the couple early as a forward?
It's already in his head. And I think he's conscious, and I was very similar with a high ball drop. You're conscious of windy conditions. So, Jared, you were spot on. He's got to get his head over the ball, low ball drop.
Johnston in front. Poor defending from the Giants.
That's a nice grab. So we're now starting to see them have a few shots at goal. They've got field position, they've got the momentum. But once again, their challenge is this next piece. Yeah, to have a slow kick back inside forward 50 when you've got your full complement of defenders. Almost goes as an uncontested mark to Lloyd.
It's a 19-year-old at the 10 disposals and a goal against Port Adelaide last week. Mixing up his time between wing and forward. Can he finish? That's another bad miss.
Well, I've had a check of the swell boys, and at this stage they are on the increase because the Giants have kicked 24 points already from the back half. Their average for the season is 16 for a game, and this is their second highest ever. And we're only midway through the second term. I mean, the tsunami is on fire right now, and the pressure is, when we showed it at quarter time, they're just running past them, and there's no resistance whatsoever. And there it is, defensive half scores 25. It's scary stuff.
It felt as if it's been building ever since quarter time of the Carlton game a few weeks ago. Should that be a push out? Umpires paid the mark, giving the benefit of the doubt to Riccardi.
Like Darcy Jones's start to this game.
Now towards Toby Green, who had the craft to get around Powell, got hands to it. He'd be disappointed. He put that one down. And now the Suns will try and run and carry from their back half, although Peatling was able to get the fingertips onto it. Partially smothered, play on. Buckley back towards a dangerous spot. Suns have the numbers, but they're going to have to try and move at the length of the field. They're having issues doing that. Closey kick to the wing, and that was against Whitfield. Was concerned about the size issue there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mistake though, because it was a 2-on-1 and he had the tall coming back to protect him.
King just kicks it down the line to Long and said, "You go win a contest." He does, but then was pushed as he kicked out of bounds on the full.
So you look at those numbers, Jared, off the turnover for the Giants off half back as we have another look at this. So that left arm of Ben King was the one the umpire saw against Whitfield.
Good work from the cameraman.
Yeah, definite free kick, not 15. And Perryman was easily able to step around Lukosius. Daniels, yeah, he's been busy. There's have a lot of these small forwards.
So they're rebounding off half-back, the Giants, the numbers suggest so, with those 4 goals.
Yep.
But it's off the back of the poor ball use from the Suns. Lynchy showed those clips at quarter time. There's a poor kick as well. So now it's the Suns' opportunity off turnover. If the Suns can use the ball better going forward, it limits the opportunities that the Giants have on rebound.
So he's Holman, moved up to a wing in the last month or so. Kicks towards Lukosius, Iden right there. No real ground level presence for the Suns as that ball goes out of bounds.
So Noah Anderson's just come back onto the ground. He's had a rest. He's had the 7 disposals. I feel like Damien Hardwick, he's got an option as you look at the key ball winners for both teams. Got an option with Noah Anderson. Do you continue to go head to head and just battle away, or can you start manipulating positions?
Well, Noah Anderson could go straight onto Green.
The Giants again will counter from half-back. Whitfield, well done, Swallow. He read the handball. Bedford, who's doing that tagging job at Anderson, around the body, towards half-forward, Cadman. Jones taken down by Weller.
Good pressure there by the Suns.
But again, it's just a high kicking hope for the Suns, hoping someone to win a contest for them. Perryman,
well done.
He won the contest instead. And they're set here, well, the Gold Coast Suns. So there's nowhere for the Giants to go. Opens the door for Anderson to hit a target inside 50. It's another poor kick.
See, that was a free kick.
And Tom Green just pounds it out of there.
This
50-50 ball.
Superb.
He has been Darcy Jones. I'll get his numbers in a minute. Rao. Closey. That's a better kick and finds Lukosius.
He's had 8, Joey, 100% by foot.
And trying to be creative there, Lukosius. And that's a poor turnover. So nothing going right inside 50 for the Suns in this game. And a nice relieving kick from Green finds Riccardi.
It just repeats itself. unfortunately for the Suns. They're winning the ball okay in defence, getting it up into their forward line. And then the kick inside forward 50, no matter who it is, has been butchered.
Already 25 inside 50s for the Suns.
For 2 goals. 2 goals, 5. So they've missed a couple of shots that they should have put through. That's good pace.
Yeah, Buckley burned off King. And then kicks towards Harvey Thomas, who's always so clever. Goes and tries to win it back. His handball, though, only as far as the Suns. Anderson, not sure if he meant that. If he did, it was very clever. It might open the door for Swallow, who again wants someone to come at him, but they've lost their shape ahead of the ball. Another kick out on the foot.
Was it Max King or was it Ben King that won the 100-metre sprint?
Was it Ben?
I think it was Ben.
Well,
It was many years ago.
Yeah, well, still, he hasn't lost his pace. He should be getting a little bit quicker, I would have thought. I know he's had an ACL, but gee, we need some defensive pressure out of the fastest man in footy.
That's a good kick from Ash to Perryman. So they just drop into their control mode at the moment.
Either that or Buckley's a smoky next time it's on.
Ash. Risky kick into the corridor. It's a 3v1. So here's a chance for the Suns. Weller on return. He is a classy finisher. And that's what they needed to get them going.
It just might be the 1 goal, Joey, absolutely. And this guy, I know that they're up there, they're just absolutely thrilled to have him back in the side. They need a really good distributor coming off the half-back line. And clearly they need a really good distributor going inside the forward 50. But he has just cited those goals and actually embarrassed all the rest of his teammates because he just dropped the ball purely and kicked it magnificently. Didn't move an inch.
And we know Damien Hardwick's a huge fan of Bodie Hewlin. That was him coming up on Toby Green that allowed that turnover for Weller to get the ground ball. You'd love to think that they're learning from each other. So instead of every Gold Coast Suns having to make a mistake in the front half, learn from the others. Don't make the same mistake over and over as a collective.
Yeah, well done for Lockie Weller. First game since July last year. Made a name on the Gold Coast at half-back, playing as a half-forward this afternoon. And that was an important goal. And a free kick against Toby Green, having a stint on ball to Jed Walter. Yes, we have seen some good footy from Jed Walter. The game up in Darwin, Jared, earlier in the year, he kicked 2 goals 4 against North Melbourne and looked like he was going to explode. Hasn't quite worked for him, but
I like the fact he's moved up the ground, giving a little bit more. There's Buck Humphrey. He's also another one who's got so much upside, struggling to get hold of the footy at the present time. 6 disposals. His kicking hasn't really achieved or generated too much at the present time.
he hasn't quite gone on with it this year. Bailey Humphrey there he is. He's been subbed in or subbed out 7 of the 15 games this year. And struggling to hit the scoreboard. And they build some pressure here, the Suns. Flanders got the fend off. Gave himself a little bit of time and space to kick a high ball. King's got to run and jump. Just ran under it. And now Lukosius and Johnston trying to apply some pressure. And the Giants are spending a bit of time in their back half at the moment. Darcy Jones again. Clever handball. Although Butterick was quick onto it to Riccardi. Turnover. Anderson. 2v2. Lukosius and long. Well done, Ivan. So again, they keep turning the ball over, the Suns, and turning it over in the right spots, just bombing them inside 50 at the moment.
Well, it's weight of numbers in the front half. It's just the inability to convert. So Halloran's getting ready. Looks like he's going to be subbed into the ground, into the game.
Yeah, Isaac Cummins out with a hamstring tightness, so Halloran, as you said, into the game.
Right, so Isaac Cummings had soft tissue injuries most of this season. So Halloran is the sub. He's played that terrific game against the Hawks. He kicked 4 and had 15. Gets a good opportunity to come in early. This one is Fonte. Another youngster. Playing game number 3, the boy from Perth. Goes out towards Hogan and Ballard able to outwork him. Hogan not happy with where the kick was pointed. A bit of frustration. frustration. Haven't seen much ball in the last 5 or 10 minutes, the Giants forwards. And again, Gold Coast will keep pressing. King, another run and jump. It gets to the back to Lukosius, cleverly on the outside of the boot. And now they start getting some reward for effort. 2 in a row.
Well, it was a great conversion, that one by Jack Lukosius. He came in second. Probably a good ground ball player for his height. King didn't really judge it all that well, but that's just a clever kick round the corner. Instinctive goal kicker. And his man just, he was tracking the ball and not his man.
Yeah, I think Himmelberg would love to have that again. Wasn't a lot of body contact to put him out of the play. Well done by Lukosius, and then a lovely finish outside the right peg. So this is what we want to see, Joe. This is the creativity they're going to have to do forward of set up the ball. Delivery hasn't been delightful. They've had the 13 inside 50s once again this quarter to just the 5 of the Giants. Got to put some scoreboard pressure on right now as we've had confirmation. Cumming is done for the day. O'Halloran in.
And they're starting it by winning clearance and contest. Gold Coast. And it's giving them territory.
Yeah, it's been a strength of theirs the whole day. They've been right on top of the home team in their clearance work. But they've been really their own worst enemies just going inside forward 50.
Giants win this clearance. Daniels drives it inside 50. Gives Hogan a look. Well done, Ballard.
Clever.
And now the Suns get some run off halfback. Rao tried to drill a low ball to Walter. Well done, Himmelberg. Just a bit too much experience and class. Wide for Green. Power hasn't given him an inch so far. Now, Jeffrey and Butterick. And he's got some poise, and that's a good kick. And they can set up again, the Suns. Although that's just going to get through to Lukosius. Thought Briggs might have chopped it off.
Yeah,
Jeffrey. Sees some players on out wide. One of them's Humphrey. You can see what's inside 50. Lloyd Johnson wants it open side. King just wants it sat on the head in the pocket. So that's the direction it'll go. Himmelberg was coming across to read it, and then that was always going to be hard work for Ben King.
No movement at all. All 3 key forwards. Hands in the air like they're hailing a taxi. Just saying, put it on my head, I'll do it one-on-one. And what that allows the defence of the Giants is it's so predictable. They can get over and support each other in the air. Got to have more movement. Cause some chaos and different cues to read from a Giants perspective.
Disposal number 15 for Lockie Whitfield. Tom Green leading the way with 16. Flanders has 16 and Rao 12 for the Suns.
Good body work. I mean, when I say good body work, it was pretty basic body work, but his opponent wasn't really anticipating it.
So they want to generate some speed here. The Giants. Fonte, Buckley, Perryman and Himmelberg. All get handball receives.
Forward 50.
And they've started the come forward defence from Gold Coast. They're going to find a free player.
Had some really good form earlier in the season, O'Halloran. Just got to get his spot back.
Always seems to be a fringe player, doesn't he? Kicked to a contest. Suns defenders having all the answers in the back half of this second quarter. Rao's been busy. He's really working hard in and under. Hewland has swallowed. He's also been good. Wants to give another handball. Look at the right hand. Humphrey. Lukosius, his arms pinged and did pretty well in the end to somehow get the hand free for Hewland, who sees a player top of the square. Walter had to sit and wait. Well done by young Fonte, and then he's given away the free kick.
Well, we'll come back to that very, very controversial handball, but it doesn't matter. The Suns have just gone charging forward, and they're actually in control of this game at the present time. The last 10 minutes has been their best 10 minutes for a fair while.
There's the high tackle against Joe Fonte. And this is now the mental challenge for Ben King. He takes a big breath. He's had 2 cracks at goal already through set shots. In fact, he's had 3 if you count the one on the run. And he's yet to register a score. Can he steal himself? And he's got the yips.
Overcompensated. It's a funny thing, football, isn't it? And then suggestions they don't do enough goal kicking practice throughout the course of the week. Promise you these guys are doing a lot.
Well, Jared touched on it before about getting the head over the ball. He actually went the other way. He leaned back on that one, where the high ball droppers, you're in all sorts of strife if you lean back.
So he's had the 4 looks at goal for just one behind that just snuck in. Well, Whitfield's kick's going to set his defence a task. It's uncharacteristic from Lockie Whitfield.
It was a shocking kick from full back from a tremendous player, and he knows he's made a blue. But I think the wind exposes any flaw in your technique, and Ben King, he leans way too far back, and it's been exposed.
There's Anderson breaking out of the stoppage and was able to throw that one on the boot. Starting to work himself into the game now, Noah Anderson. 11 disposals, 8 kicks, but like a lot of his teammates, just kicking at 25%. And this will be a score review.
One of the issues about Lockie Whitfield in recent times is his lack of impact on the scoreboard. He had 41 a couple of weeks ago with only, I think, 3 score involvements. Well, he's had 17 with only 1 score involvement to date and only 1 inside forward 50. So he's a player that, with that much football, should be doing more damage.
And if they are the 2 angles we have to work with, it's going to be pretty hard to
overturn
Your
that.
kick, Jack. It's on the full. It's your kick.
Well, you heard the umpire say it will be out on the full. So it should be a free kick to the GWS Giants. Jack Buckley, just waiting for confirmation. Not sure what's taking so long. If umpire Lee Fisher already knows that it's going to be Jack Buckley's kick.
Review complete. Looking at these angles, there is insufficient evidence to determine if the ball has hit the behind post or not. Decision on the scoreboard.
So there is insufficient evidence. So it is out on the full. That was the call from the goal umpire. So we'll stay Giants ball. Just under 3.5 minutes left in this half. Gold Coast have really controlled big parts of this game. Can they continue to lock it in their forward half? If it gets through, watch out. Bedford kicks to grass. This is where they're creative. The Giants, the Suns know that, so they try and take some territory, and the free kick will come back to be Kieran Briggs.
I thought it was not working for the Suns, and that's their positioning of Mac Andrew. We know he's on a undersized player, but he's getting in front of the ball. There's no intercepts. He's had it just 6 times, and his man is doing plenty.
Hogan wanted front-on contact. He thought the defender interfered with him illegally. Callahan screws it around the body. Not sure whether that was intentional, but it'll come off because Perryman's in the right spot.
Well, I thought it was intentional to centre the football, which was a good decision from Callahan. Perryman just sitting corridor bias with nobody on them. And the disappointing part from a defensive perspective from the Suns, they had more and enough time to get organised when we waited for that score review to get your perfect defensive positioning, yet it still goes the length of the field.
Just the 2 goals this season for Harry Perryman. I've heard he's got 6- and 7-year offers on the table from other clubs. He steers that one home, and they just give themselves a little bit of a buffer before half-time.
Yeah, they've lost a handle on the game, and they'd be really thrilled to pinch that one back. Let's have a look at this kick. Mac Andrew, once again, he's just being swallowed up. And then it's a charge from the back line and another goal coming from the back half. There's that magnificently centred kick. And it sets up the goal.
Harry Perryman there, leading the ranking points in this game, just drifted down from half-back following his opponent down the field and was in the right spot at the right time. An important 2 minutes to finish this half. Gold Coast don't want to concede another one. They've worked so hard to get back into this contest. Anderson, sharp handle out to Flanders. Gets over the head of Ash, almost read by Weller. And Lockie Ash squeezes a nice relieving kick to Tom Green.
Having a big first half once again. Tom Green, disposal number 17.
He's had 35 or more the last couple of weeks, racking up big numbers. That one just over the head of O'Halloran. No free kick to Whitfield. Anderson's handball over the head route on his left. Was looking for Flanders, just overshot the kick. And now they're going to have to defend here again, the Suns. Asher's sweeping handball, missed the mark, but it still might work out. Briggs was there to mop up. Green almost took too long. O'Halloran for McMullen, who has Bedford over the top if he wants. Instead, kicks himself. Green decides to leave it for Hogan. He'll wait for it to bounce. Almost pushed his teammate Cadman out of the way. Now it spills to Green. Can he create some magic? Oh, Toby! That's what he does. He only needs a centimetre of space.
How good was that, Del? That was just absolutely brilliant.
He created his own space. They're surrounded. 4 blue gold jumpers around that. There's one, there's two, and then a little check side while the Smothers attempted to come across his boot. Just spoke about he hadn't had a huge influence on this game. That's something from absolutely nothing. That's spectacular.
Now that is from the top shelf, that. Look at him, he almost wanted to work his teammate under it.
It's a throw. Should have been a penalty.
But as you said, he's had a quiet first half. Will Powers actually in his 100th game done a really good job on Toby Green, but he's a superstar and he needs a half a gap and he can make the most of it.
Umpire's generous with that disposal, was let go as a throw.
And all of a sudden, for all their hard work, the Suns, they're 3 goals down and they're scrambling in this final minute, although Buckley let it slip, opens the door. They'll lock it inside 50, so a chance here for Gold Coast.
Love the reaction of Toby Green, like it's no big deal. You've just kicked one of the better colours. It's like, yeah, I sort of do that every week. On to the next.
360 of them he's kicked. Careful to give away a free kick here. The Giants, Weller, trying to create something. He's already kicked one terrific goal. Almost made it 2. Working himself into the game. Lockie Weller.
They deserve one more here. The Suns have controlled so much of this first half. All the stats say they should be...
Oh, it's another dodgy kicking from the Giants.
I'll never understand this, how you can't identify that someone could intercept that ball when you're kicking it 10 metres at best.
Particularly a bloke as talented as that.
I think Adam Kingsley was saying something along those lines.
So they're just going to have to hang in here now. The Giants, they put themselves under pressure. They'll be disappointed to concede one. Peatling understands the situation, off a standing start, gets good purchase. Hogan again just provided a contest. Closey's had some touches and so has Butterick in his first half. Another inside 50 opportunity. And they do get the free kick they were searching for. It's going to go the way of Lockie Weller. There's Adam Kingsley again. He knows that kick in might have just cost them a goal right on the stroke of half-time. And it's probably in the right players' hands.
Yeah, spot on. They need more of this guy's kicking ability just to seep through the rest of the team.
There it is, clearly around the shoulder from Lockie Whitfield.
That's 2 now for Lockie. He's got to address that.
And his return from the ACL to give his side a much-needed boost at half-time. Some real momentum and energy. He's already kicked one. Leans back on it and hooks it badly. And that, in some ways, sums up the first half. From the Gold Coast Suns, inaccuracy's been an issue. Efficiency has been an issue, but not for the GWS Giants and that man, Toby Green. Despite not really having the run of play, they will be happy to take a 16-point lead into half-time. As the big ruckman saying, Himmelberg, just kick along to me. Good game of footy. Nick Del Santo and Jared Healy will take you through the first half right after this.
All right, there we go, folks. Half-time here at ENGIE Stadium here in Sydney. And, of course, the GWS Giants leading the way 8-1-49. I tell you what, they're kicking accurate. That's the difference in this match so far. That is the big difference. To the Suns, 4-9-33. 9 scoring shots to 13. But the Giants are doing it well. Carly Hughes, how you going? Welcome in. Thanks for coming. You're a Giants supporter. I'm tipping. I tell you what, it's a well, it's a little bit of a tricky game so far. The blustery winds there are making it a little bit interesting. There's a few fumbles going on. There's a few patches where the momentum's swinging. Gold Coast, they had the momentum halfway through that second quarter, whereas the Giants, they came out running pretty good in that start of that second quarter. Of course, the Giants, the Suns got back pretty close, but the Giants steadied the ship there with a late couple of goals. And of course, Toby Green finally got his goal. He's been pretty quiet, Toby Green, today. That's one of the scary things for the Suns. If Toby Green, gets let off the leash and starts to fire up like we know he can do, well, he could turn this game on its head. The Giants there kicking 3 goals 1 to the Suns 2 goals 5. They definitely need to score a little bit straighter. Was it King? King, I think, he's had about 4 shots now for the Suns. He's had 3 set shots and 1 running into goal shots, and he's missed it all. I think he's only got 1 behind. But we are going to have a little bit of a look at the players' stats there, and we'll have a bit of a look and see how the players are going and who's leading at the moment for the players' stats. See what's happening there in that point. All right, let's have a look. We got Lockie Whitfield there. He's going pretty good there for the Giants. He's had 19 disposals. He's having a big game there. 9 kicks, 10 handballs, 6 marks, 4 tackles, 1 clearance. He's doing pretty well there. He's having a great game. Sam Flanders there for the Suns on 19 disposals also. They're the 2 leading possession getters on the ground to half-time with 9-10. He's just had the 1 mark. He's had a couple of tackles and, of course, 5 clearances, doing well. Tom Green, he's going pretty well there for the Giants with 18 touches, I should say, 11 kicks. Harry Perryman playing a good game there also with 12 kicks, 4 handballs, 6 marks, 1 tackle. We'll just run down the board to see your players' stats there, how they're going. This is the line, folks. This is the line, is the disposals, what they've got. This is the kicks in this line. This is the handballs they got. This is the marks in this line. This is the tackles, hit-outs, and clearances. All right, let's just run down a little bit more, see who else we've got there, how the players are faring up. Lockie Ash, just with the 10 touches in that first half. Bailey Humphrey with the 9. Harry Himmelberg. I tell you what, that's a tongue twister, isn't it? He needs to lift his game a little bit. That's for sure. He's just had the 9 touches. 7 kicks, 2 handballs. Brent Daniels with the first goal of the match. He still only had just the 9 touches, 6 kicks, still just with the 2 goals. Who else we got? Callum Ward, he's having a little bit of a quiet one there also, just with the 7. Connor Buriak just with the 7 as well. There we go. Toby Green, what Cully was asking about before, how's he going? Toby Green, he's only had the 6 disposals. He's had 2 kicks, 4 handballs. He hasn't taken a mark. He hasn't had a tackle. He hasn't had a clearance, but he did score 1 late goal. And it was a ring-a-ding-ding goal. He faked it left and he faked it right, and he got through about two or three players there from the Gold Coast Suns, and he put a banana check side on his boot straight through the goal. So good to see him get a goal there. It was a steadying the ship there for the Giants with that goal, because the Gold Coast looked pretty good. They looked pretty strong. They were coming back reasonably well there. All right, let's just run down. There we go. Ben King there for the Suns. There we go. He's had 5 kicks. As I said, he's had 3 set shots, 1 running into goal. He's only kicked 1 behind. He's been very wayward. He's got the yips. Teenage Bim Bim. Make a love shout out. Thanks for hanging in there to my manager. Good stuff. Good to have you here. Multitasking here, Lang. Multitasking. There we go. All right. That is the players' stats. Right there, we're just going to have a look at the goal scorers for the game. And of course, we've got Jack Lucasius, if that's how you say his name, for the Gold Coast Suns. He's got a couple. Of course, Jesse Hogan, Brent Daniels with a couple each of 2. Lucky Weller, he's got 1 with Harvey Thompson, Harry Perryman, Ben Long, Darcy Jones, and of course, Toby Green with that late goal in that second quarter has won for himself as well. The AFL fantasy points, if you're playing that game, of course, Lockie Whitfield with his 19 disposals, he's on top with 75 points. That's not too bad, scoring halfway through the game. Harry Perryman, he's got 72 with Tom Green, who's having a good game there, 72 there. Top 3 point getters are for the Giants, of course. Sam Flanders, 59 points. Kieran Briggs, 56. And Ned Moyle, Brent Daniels on 50. Let's swing over. Let's have a little bit of a look at the team stats now. Look at the disposals. The Giants are on top with the disposals here, 201 to 78. 23 disposals ahead. Of course, the kicks are pretty level. Just a few more handballs there for the Giants. Inside 50s. Well, the Gold Coast, they had plenty of opportunity in that second quarter. They got it down there. Just struggling to find their targets a little bit, and due to the wayward kicking, 4 goals, 9. 13 scoring shots from 34 inside 50s to the Giants. 9 scoring shots, which is good efficiency, for 22. There we go, centre all. Disposal efficiency around the ground, 78 to 66. Giants above their season average. They're doing very well in these blustery conditions here. Doing well. Inside efficiency for the forward 50. Well, there you go. There you go. The Suns are just ahead of their average on 44%. Giants need to lift that aspect. Free kicks. Well, 10 to 5. Gold Coast Suns have had twice as many, but none really impacting on the game that I've seen so far. Umpires have been reasonably lenient there with the free kicks. Stoppages, the hit-outs, well, that's pretty well even. The clearances, Suns on top there. Centre clearances, Suns definitely on top there. I said centre clearances are good. They get first dibs with the ball there to run it into their forward 50. They're pretty well on the season average there, the Suns at the moment. And, of course, the Giants are, well, they're a couple below their season average. Stoppage clearances, 11-16. Gold Coast Suns, they're doing pretty good in that department there. Contested possessions, there you go. The Gold Coast Suns winning more of the ball, contested by 18. Uncontested, the Giants, 134 to 102 to the Suns. Giants are finding a little bit more space around the ground as they're running in waves, in patches. I'll tell you what, we're in for a good second half. I can just feel it in the bones right now. The turnovers, 37 to 33. It's actually probably not too bad considering the blustery conditions when they're kicking it in, and it's causing the players to second guess their marks. Let's go and have a look at the marks. That being said, 45 to 34. Giants smack on target for their season average. Suns a little bit below their marks inside 55 to 7. Pretty well even their contested marks 3 to 7. Suns getting the job done there. Defensive tackles. The Giants are definitely bringing a little bit more pressure in patches. As I said, halfway through that second quarter, the Suns did bring the pressure, and they played in their forward half for a fair majority of that section. But again, they just weren't able to put the score on the board to do a lot of that damage. Tackles inside 50, 6-5, both doing their job there. The bounces, the Giants are having their run and bounces a little bit more, 13 to 1, dominating the Suns in that department. The 1%ers, well, they're both doing pretty well in the 1%ers, both on average for the season, 22, 27. And they've both used half of their interchanges. Let me just scroll that quickly back up. Hope that didn't make you a little bit dizzy. Just having a look at the season's ladder at the moment. GWS Giants, there we go. That's the live ladder. As you can see, if it stays this way, they will be third. If I turn that off, GWS Giants going into this game, they were sitting 7th. They were a game under Carlton, which was sitting 2nd. So if the Giants have a big win, they will move to 2nd on the ladder. And of course, the Gold Coast here in 11th position, 36 points. They're a game out. If they win this game, they'll jump into the top 8. But if we turn the live ladder on at the moment, where things stand at this present moment, the Giants are up into 3rd position. Still 4% behind Carlton. Hey, Avery, how you going? Welcome in, Avery. Good to see you. Good to see you. Not a bad game here. Not a bad game here. And of course, the Gold Coast remain in 11th. But the Gold Coast need this win. And look, both sides need this win. Both sides need this win. I think the Giants need to win. They need to get into the top 4, top 2 definitely, if they want to play a home final come the end of the season. But with all the other teams still yet to play, some cracking games coming up, the ladder will continue to change even more. But that's what's happening here at half time. 8 minutes to go before the bounce of the ball in the second half. And let's just check the game. It's happening around the grounds, and that is St Kilda versus West Coast there at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. It's St Kilda leading 7-5-47 to the West Coast Eagles 4-4-28. 19 points of difference there. In for a close game over there, we should imagine. Well, we thought St Kilda might run away with that game early. They were dominating, but then West Coast came back. I said it's only 3 goals won the difference. Over there at Marvel Stadium in the other game today. And of course, don't forget, the next game that will be following this game, folks, will be the Hawthorn-Collingwood game. That should be a ring-a-ding-ding game there. Of course, we're all going for the Magpies there. I'm definitely going for the Magpies. We need them to win. Let me just check that ladder again. We need Collingwood here, who's sitting 12th, to win for a chance to go into the top 8. And of course, they play the Hawks, who are also looking for equal points onto the top 8, but their percentage is a little bit lower. But we'll get into that in the next game as we cover it. So here we are. We're 6 minutes away from the bounce in the second quarter. Second half, I should say. Should be a great game. Should be a great game. Who knows what's going to happen? Are the Suns going to kick straight? Are they going to bounce back? Are they going to hit the front? They're playing well enough too. Or are the Giants going to keep some of their domination going? Is Toby Green going to lift? Is he going to lift the Giants across the line to win this game today? It's an exciting game. It's an exciting game. But there we go. All right, folks. I'm just going to take a breath for a moment. I'm going to take a breath for a moment for 5 minutes, and then we will be back with... It's a good game, Chris. Absolutely, it's a good game. I tell you what, the Suns could be ahead if they were kicking straight. If they were kicking straight, they could definitely be ahead. Who's it? King. King is... he's got the yips. He's got the yips for the Gold Coast. He just can't kick it. What did I say? He had 3 set shots, and I think he's kicked 1 behind. He's had 1 shot running into goal and missed it all. So there we go. Eagles Saints, good too. Goodish too. Yeah, not too bad. 47-28. Saints lead that by 19 points. It'll be an interesting... That game has been pretty level. It's been pretty level. I think that game, the Saints kicked 4 goals, 2 in that second quarter, to 2 goals, 4. That's what it all comes down to, doesn't it? Taking your chances when you've got them. I'll tell you what, you better kick them straight and kick them through the big sticks. The yips, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's just going skew-if off the side of his boot and all. He should be... These are goals he should be kicking, and he's not kicking them from that far out. On just a slight angle, he should be putting them through like Jesse Hogan, just sliding them straight through. Dead-eye Dick, he is. Scoreboard pressure, well, it can be too. It can be. And I think when some players get the yips, and I think that goes through their mind when they're kicking from not too far out. I think King needs to probably kick from the 50, unleash, and then they can sometimes kick a little bit straighter. I think we've seen that from a few players in the past. All right, folks. I'm just going to take just a couple of minutes break, and then I will be back. And we'll be back for the second half here of the GWS Giants versus the Gold Coast Suns, who lead by 16 points the Giants' way. I'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back. The second half is underway. Gold Coast Suns have got a shot on goal. Welcome back. Good luck, teams.
Back into the team today, David Spillett. Looking to play finals for the first time. That's probably not where it was intended to go. And again, another poor attempt at goal. Buckley again just hacks it out. Riccardi at the sit and wait. McAndrew stripped from Toby Green, and then he was stripped. Umpire didn't pay the free kick. A chance here for the Giants. Here's their running carry. If they get through this line of defence, they'll be out. Riccardi feeds back to Green. Good pick up at the shoelaces, and McAndrew quickly got into position and should be able to mop this one up.
That's better positioning.
Yeah, looking behind the ball, not up high.
So they've set him up high to try and keep the ball in the front half. They bring him into the game. But they might need to readjust his position. He's playing that second layer of the defence.
Slightly more aggressive kick from Andrew. Not sure if that was intended, but it might come off. They're in the corridor. Flanders getting a stack of footy as always. Closey went with the decoy option, kicked it himself towards King, and that was straight on the chest. He'd be disappointed he didn't mark that.
Love to see the arms out.
Tell you what, Jack Buckley, he has got good speed, and he's had 3 involvements now that has helped neutralise any shots at goal in this term.
Tom Green just positioned himself right at the base of that ruck contest and won the clearance. And again, his clearance is just going to be a high ball.
Just took his eyes off the ball.
And that should be a trick. Oh, legging umpires. 4 of them out there didn't see it.
Yeah.
Well, there's one designated to the forward 50 that's there for those particular calls. Completely missed it.
Again, Tom Green standing on his own. Couldn't get that clearance, so he has to rely on Himmelberg. Ward and Tom Green again, so he started this third quarter well. Plenty of footy. Hogan had a great start to this game, hardly sighted in that second term. Involved in this occasion. Same with Daniels, Bedford.
Look at the hands.
That's better build up. Hogan uses it nicely. And now it's an open forward line. Well, the Suns get back in numbers, so Riccardi has to be patient to Perryman. And now they will wait. Umpire called not 15. Would have favoured Callaghan on his left instead. Harvey Thomas just has to assess his options. In the end, just kicks a high ball. Hogan made a contest. Green had a little fumble. Might go back again. Oh, Toby again! That's party time at ENGIE. That's his second ripper for the day, and that is the difference.
Well, he is putting on a show right now. Let's take a look at this potential trip. You don't see Tom Green fumble the ball too often. You don't see umpires miss a trip like that too often. And you don't see blokes kick goals like this too often. So keep watching this very entertaining team called the Giants, because at the present time they've got one of the greats producing some unbelievable highlights.
And again, Jared, I reckon that's why Jesse Hogan's on his way to All-Australian.
Yeah.
Just got a fist in, I think it was a 2-on-1 situation, so he gets the ball to ground to allow this man to show his magic in front of goal. So well done both Green and Hogan.
Low numbers for Toby, but all class. A couple from the top shelf today. And it's out to a game-high 22-point lead. Green flexing his muscles in this third quarter. Big inside 50, Hogan in front. Little Darcy Jones has been dangerous. Toby this time gave it up, looking for Daniels. Got to be careful not to give away a free kick. Bedford as well goes in hard. Lifted the pressure here, the Giants, and that ball looked like it was a half volley. No, it might have been a bump ball, but umpire it out of bounds on the full. So they've up the ante here. Quick little give from Toby Green. Daniels played for the free kick. Perryman will kick it to a dangerous spot. Hogan, just too big, too good, and too strong.
So we speak about moments within games, and often when we think about that, we're thinking in offence. There's moments to be had right now for the Suns defenders to take the sting out of this quarter as the Giants have the momentum. It almost becomes an uncontested mark from a slow kick in. Where's your big key defenders that just take Jesse Hogan's body, don't even allow him to drop into the flow of the football? Non-existent.
He's just such a presence in the forward line now, Jesse Hogan. Every time the ball goes in his direction, he looks dangerous. For goal number 3. He steers it home, and they've thrown down the challenge to the Suns. The question is, can they go with them?
That is a good question, and right now their accuracy at 10 goals won is making it very difficult for the Suns, but this is just way too easy. I mean, big net more, you're going to come over the top there, but nobody read the ball. It dropped so quickly that Jesse Hogan, he just stuck a mid out, and Charlie Ballard, well, I'm not sure what Charlie was thinking about. I mean, he's, just think at a waltz in and just take a look, and I don't blame you, Coach. About time they grow up.
That was what are we doing? For those that like to read lips at home. You look at the Coleman medal, he's putting together one hell of a season. We've been complimenting him every week. I can't help but think, Joey, Toby Green, Jesse Hogan, exactly what the Suns aren't today. Just not capitalising forward of the football and making half chances, 6 points.
He might be leading that Coleman medal race by the end of today. The form that he's in, Jesse Hogan. Can the Suns respond? They need to find a way to lift away from home. They get another entry, and again, it's just going to be...
Geez, the pressure coming out of the back line is pathetic at the present time for the Suns. They've got to coming out of their forward line, and this is just not on.
There's the handball game again. They're all involved, the young and the old, Fonzie and Ward. Suns trying to win it back. They do. This is the challenge, though. Can they capitalise when they do win it back? Well done, Peatling.
Yeah, fair enough too, Peatling. No free kick.
No prior was the explanation from the umpire there.
Green, another disposal in this third quarter. Well, that one was ineffective. And Butterick taken out of bounds.
He's had 6 disposals and 2 clearances to start this quarter, Tom Green. So if they're not aware of the damage he's been doing, he's just going to continue on his merry way. Might be a great opportunity for Noah Anderson to identify that right now and go stand shoulder to shoulder and draw Bedford with him and try and get a 2-on-1.
It's Rao. It's right there next to him. Couple of big balls. Anderson fighting his own battle against Bedford. He wants to go in and win the footy.
Thanks, guys. That's all right. Let's go straight up. Next time.
You can see the Giants' pressure numbers. We spoke about the tackles and the tackle differential in recent weeks. And for the season, it is a strength. And they just seem to be doubling down on their strengths. And, Bedford had to be very careful. Look at him. Another tackle where his opponent's head hit the ground, and he was very quick to put the hands up, so there was nothing in it.
Tom Green's had 6 possessions, and possessions aren't everything, but he's hitting plenty of the ball.
Dal, is this a nervous tackler or what?
He's nervous. Yeah, not a heap of force in it, but we still... He's had a moment. He's gone up to Noah at that next stoppage and almost patted him on the back to make sure he's okay.
I think the AFL will be keen not to have too many this week.
Hopefully it doesn't drag out till midweek as well when we keep talking about it.
Anyway, back to Green. He's had 6. Rao's had none. What would happen if Anderson went on, took on Tom Green and just put the ball back in the court?
King get hands to it. Couldn't quite again. He's done that a lot today.
Bit of pressure. That's what they need to up. Get the ball in there. That's one part of it. But start getting some nervous Giants. They're just getting it out of there too easily.
It's a good question about Green, though. Jerry, we saw him at those stoppages on his own. His first couple of defensive 50 stoppages.
I mean, you can understand if Rao was going 50-50, but it's being played out the way the Giants wanted around the ball.
There is Rao trying to get his hands free. Giants have numbers. Quick kick. Mac Andrew in the box seat.
I mean, ultimately what you'd be hoping for is that Bedford ends up going on to Rao, and I think that's a better matchup for the Suns.
Again, you can see the issue that he faced. All those numbers inside their forward 50, which makes it really difficult to score. And they'll just keep reloading. That's front-on contact.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of repeat entries here. Still got to find their way to get on the scoreboard.
Powell, aggressive. Well done, Jesse Hogan again. Almost forced the turnover. Ballard just blazes away off one step. Didn't really have any thought process in that. It was just get it in and hope. Ash to Whitfield. Strong enough to stand up in the tackle. Well done, Johnston. He's done that a few times. Umpire let them play. Peatling. And the kick off the shins goes out of bounds.
Better pressure, Jared. You spoke about that only moments ago, saying it was really poor coming out of the forward line for the Suns. So this is the matchup that we're looking at. Is there an opportunity to get a third person in this, particularly Noah Anderson, who's got the matchup with Bedford, doing a good job?
There's Rao trying to lay a block for Anderson. Briggs wins the clearance. McAndrew again trying to get busy. Another big collision. And again, great contest from Jesse Hogan. Great courage from Andrew as well. You're spot on, Lynchy. That's the impressive part of Jesse Hogan's game. The contest he's providing, pressure at ground level, doing everything the team asks. Moyle trying to do it himself. Sweeps a 30-metre handball, but Fonte's had some nice moments. Callahan wants to run and go. Fonte with confidence, and then left the ball behind. Opportunity for the Suns. Flanders needs to find a mark inside 50. Does. It's long.
Well, he was foiled by a bad bounce, but he was pretty courageous coming through there. Just needed another release to give it to his teammate, who was right there beside him. But this is the goal they need on the return, on the rebound.
Kick one in the opening term, Ben Long. Normally pretty good from set shots. He's given it a ride and left it hanging out to the right. It's a 4-10 for Gold Coast. They've had more shots on goal. And yet they trail by 27
It's
points.
incredible kicking once again from the Giants. They did a similar thing last week. So accurate in front of goals. 10 goals won today. It's been the difference.
They tried the little set play. They did the same kicking last week against Richmond to Buckley in a one-on-one. And they were able to score from that occasion as well last week. They might be out again here. Bedford drew the man, got it to Jones. He draws a couple. And then well done, Ballard. Saved the day. He read that Toby Green was lurking. Anderson went without it. And Jeffrey in support. Looks like the Suns are trying to run the handball a little bit more this term. A kick, again, really disappointing. There's no one home. And Ash, running into trouble again. Lloyd Johnston snuck up on him about 3 times, and he hasn't been rewarded. And now Perryman, his kick only as far as Holman.
Just some turnovers right now, but no one can score from them.
Holman into the pocket, and that's going to be out of bounds on the full.
Well, Rocky Ash has got the blinkers on. He's got no peripheral at all. So he gets blindsided once again. Tackle doesn't get stuck, so he's able to wriggle the arms out. And a couple of opportunities already this quarter.
Already up to 44 inside 50s now, the Suns. They're on track for another 60 plus. Look at the discrepancy. Perryman towards O'Halloran. He's going to work closely off the footy nicely.
And on contrast to that, Joey, the Giants have had 26 for 10 goals won.
And last week they had 36. You don't win many games with 36 inside 50s. They're going to really give it a shake again this week.
Well, it's a real rope-a-dope, isn't it? From GWS. Cadman got a good ride, couldn't bring it down. Seen a lot of forwards just not finish their work today. Callahan was looking to handball. And now O'Halloran trying to pull the kick. Again looking for Cadman, but Powell's having a really good afternoon.
He's had a fantastic day, apart from 2 brilliant moments, and that's going to be 50. Apart from 2 brilliant moments from Toby Green. I think it was Cadman that was told to stand and was still moving on the mark.
Powell's going to run, take a bounce, and again drive it in deep. King at the back. Sexton looks like he's been moved forward. Long, strong tackle, and again no reward for that effort.
Looks like they need a target who's going to mark the ball, and maybe McAndrew in the forward line might be the man.
You're spot on, Jared. You really feel there's something missing. There's a presence missing in that forward half.
Fonte, Peatling and Toby Green takes out David Swallow. A couple of veterans, been going at it for a long time.
And it's not just about like Jesse Hogan splitting packs over or anything like that, but we see often when the Suns are running the ball, there's not someone up there demanding the ball, drawing the ball to them, so you can't avoid them. You've got to kick it to them.
Well, I think they've got their man there. He's just in his first year in Jed Walter, who's in the ruck at the moment, but he is that pillar that will be there for years to come. Just got to learn his craft.
Absolutely.
But it's not about him learning the craft right now. It's about him winning this game. They want to stay in touch with the 8, and it's just not working at the present time.
So they are trying something that looks like Moyle. Might be just having a spell forward while Walters in the ruck. That didn't work either. Ash instructing McMullen to get out into space. Big 50-50 ball. Well done, Jeffrey. Like great pressure from McMullen.
Yeah, it didn't look like he got a fist on it. It was a great tackle. A bit stiff not to get the free kick.
Flanders already 28 disposals in this game. Rao next best with 16, and Tom Green having a field day, 26 disposals. A couple of the mids getting a stack of footy. Peatling went and won a hard ball. That forward handball works this time. Toby Green tries to look for Hogan. Got to him on the bounce. Lurking is McMullen. Handball, dangerous spot. Who's going to go hard? Cadman was clean. Got it back to Toby. And that's just missed.
Geez, he
Popped up
worked
out of
hard.
nowhere.
Yeah, he worked hard because he was involved in the contest on the boundary line. His man didn't go with him. Game's up for grabs right now, and they need to find a way to get a couple of goals at Gold Coast if they're going to stay in touch.
I feel they need the next at least. Gold Coast. So Moyle comes back up into the ruck. He's got the advantage on Riccardi, so can they capitalise and get some clearance?
Hit him, Jake.
Peatling, he's trying to get in and under. Callaghan starting to get some footy. Tom Green's been excellent. Ash getting some run. Whitfield wanted it, decided to kick alone. Hogan's got a couple to beat. Ballard's dropped the mark. Gave it off to Powell and said, you deal with it. And he's under all sorts of pressure. Look at them swarming the Giants and they lock it in.
That's the definition of handballing over responsibility. Under the pump, didn't want to have anything to do with it, just give it to the next person.
It's becoming more and more prevalent.
And look at all the smalls at ground level here. Thomas, Green, Toby Green, Darcy Jones all lurking. Moyle tries to slap it away from the numbers. Tom Green's able to keep it in. Callum Ward able to bounce off the tackle. Kick it to a dangerous spot. They've done this a number of times. Sexton, well done.
It's a good relieving mark there from Sexton. That was a 50-50 football. That's a good option. That's a good option.
They've got some runners. Can they draw and give? It's Flanders. He has Rowell and Swallow working hard for him. Forward handball to Weller. Kick one from 50 earlier. Can he go for another one? And even he's off target. A good transition. There's no reward again. Lockie Weller, 7 disposals, 1 goal, 2. Playing as a half forward. Whitfield wants it back. He was able to get Anderson to go the other way on the mark and drive it as far as he can to a contest. Cadman's been launching at it pretty well. Briggs likes to knock it on, getting back was Weller. Flanders, Hewlin, McAndrew and Ballard. Oh, Waxon. Oh, Ballard. That's a horrible ball drop. That's going to bounce anywhere. Walter attacks it hard as always. O'Halloran breaks the closely tackle. Drives again inside 50. Collins couldn't take the mark.
Yeah, missed handball there. Lockie Whitfield was there for O'Halloran. He usually makes good decisions ball in hand, but that one he just had night blindness. And during the day there's such a bad affliction.
Already ticked down just 5 minutes left in this quarter. Only 1 behind for the Suns in this term.
They just stepped up, camped behind the ball. They cannot get it out.
Himmelberg, Riccardi's going to run and fly. Moyle had to stand his ground. Harvey Thomas, and now Gold Coast again. They're going to have to try and move the length of the field. Flanders been the best. Butterick's handball for Ballard made it difficult. It's Anderson, in fact. He's going to get the free kick now, Anderson.
Another really average skill there. I mean, it just puts teammates under pressure. This guy's lucky to get the free kick, but other than that, it was going to be a turnover. He should have been able to run onto that ball. It's just a basic handball from professional footballers.
Joel Jeffrey's been subbed out of the game. Will Graham, so he'll go into the midfield rotation.
Yep.
Just try to get an extra bit of potency through there.
Yeah, the young rising star nominee. See if he can just give them something around the footy. Swallow looking for something. They've just struggled to find anything really clean in their forward 50. Now Anderson's high ball. Can they get a contested mark? They all fall to ground. And the Giants keep their feet. And once again, they'll run out of halfback. High ball. They've got the outnumber. Cadman. Moyle. Flanders just keeps getting in the right spots, although the handball made it difficult for Anderson. The kick will work. It wasn't meant for Toby Green. And they're going to try and stream inside forward here, the Giants. He goes wide to Callum Ward.
Still got 1 free forward of the football, the Giants. Suns slowly starting to get back into their defensive 50.
Feels like the Suns have just lost any zip, don't they? They feel like they're plotting a bit here. They're just hanging on. The Gold Coast Suns. Whitfield will just poke it over the top as easy as you like to a man in all that space when there's 25 players inside 50. And Xavier Halloran.
Just go back and nail the goal. That's all he has to do. It's going to be very difficult to win if this one goes through. It's going to be a challenge no matter what. But they have just controlled the ball in this term for a fair bit, majority of it. The Suns, when they have won it back, have gifted back to the Giants with poor skills and haven't had anywhere near the support run.
For a real dagger from Xavier Halloran. It's just going to drift across in the breeze.
The Giants have lifted after the coach required that and requested it at halftime, more like demanded it. But they've got 9-6 at this stage.
So just look at the blue jumpers behind the football.
No one moving.
Not one person actually identifying that the Giants have got a spare player inside 50.
Not moving, but even not communicating. There doesn't seem to be the real urgency and sense of leadership and team back there. There's Will Graham. He'll give them something. He always does.
Joey, I think we know Dimmer a couple of weeks ago had that press conference where he said his team's got to grow up. There's no clear evidence of who that person is on the ground who's going to grow up and drag their team across the line. We just feel this is going to peter out for another loss to the little cousin down the road.
They've won 12 of their last 13, the Giants, by an average of 55 points. You're right, Lynch. It just feels like this game's meandering on. We know the co-captains Miller and Witts are out.
Well, that was 11th intercept possessions for Jack Buckley. He is absolutely slaughtering them down there. He looks fatigued at the present time, but they can't get past him. I think they need to change it up somehow in that front half.
And they're just doing it easily now. There's McAndrew trying to just outstretch McMullen.
And he's my change-up man.
Here's Yulan. He has nothing up ahead. They've just lost all shape and all confidence in their game at the moment. And you can sense the frustration in Damien Hardwick.
Looking a bit disheartened at the moment. Just can't problem solve and work their way through this ball in hand about their best way to put some scoreboard pressure on. The stats still say, all the key stats say they are right in this game, apart from conversion, the one that matters.
There's Rao taking a great tackle, and he's pinged this time. Giants fans enjoying that.
It was a good tackle, wasn't it?
One-arm ping, fire opportunity. You can see what's ahead of Peatling, plenty of numbers. It'll go in the Hogan direction, you suspect. He's got a couple to beat again, and then it suits the ground level players who know where to reference. And they'll get a stoppage.
Used exactly the same tactic there, Hogan. He just went to the right and whacked out the left arm. Ballard ran into that arm, didn't learn from his previous mistake. He was lucky that he had some support coming over the top.
And if he doesn't mark it, all the smalls get the work at ground level. trying to apply some pressure and lock it in, but Tom Green's giving away the free kick.
Lucky to get that free kick after his handball nearly got swallowed up.
So a real disappointing quarter here from the Suns. 15 entries, just one behind for the turn. After playing some really good footy in that second quarter, it felt like they got disheartened.
Well, a goal would give you some nourishment. And it's 40 minutes since they last kicked a goal.
It's 28 points. If they get it inside 4 goals and regroup at three-quarter time, you never know. They've got one last chance, although Ewan just ran into Tom Green. Swallow just blast it. Anderson's looked like he's having a go at half forward. Humphrey, this is the kick for King. It just missed him.
Wow, it is tough work. Speaking about the pressure, he highlighted that pre-game that the Giants are number 1 in the competition for applying pressure on the opposition. They've had 62 tackles. The Suns have just had the 40.
And there's the pressure. I mean, when you maintain it at 200, that's an awesome performance by the Giants. But Lynchy, Damien Hardwick's going to have to take out a supply of batteries because the energy is just being sucked out of his charges. Here's Jack Buckley. He's had a fantastic afternoon. Started very early in the piece. His man's had a couple of opportunities but hasn't been able to grab back that mental ascendancy. That's a short throw into the wind.
Giants don't want to give away a free kick deep in defence. O'Halloran.
What was that?
It is going to be paid a throw. Right on the stroke of three-quarter time.
Oh, coaching you filthy.
They just had to not give away a free kick. And this might just be the little glimmer of hope that Gold Coast need at three-quarter time.
Was he being held at the time or was it just a fumble?
And Dell, this is a big moment for Ben King. He's had 4 cracks at goal. Here's the replay.
I think that's okay. This is a big moment for their season.
And that right there might sum up the afternoon. It's been one of those days for Ben King. 5 shots at goal. He has not been able to nail one, and you just wonder how they can regroup at three-quarter time because the Giants, they flexed their muscles in that third quarter. They was dominant, and they lead by 28 points. And it's up to the Suns. Can they grow up and find a way to win? We'll see right after this.
All right, so there you go, three-quarter time here, and it's the Giants 10-3-63 to the Suns 4-11. They got the yips 35. Ben King kicking for a goal for the Suns after the siren. It was about 12 metres out on just the slightest angle, and he's just yipped it again through for another point. That's why the Suns are trailing. Of course, the Suns' defensive pressure is good, but their forward pressure has been, well, less than desirable, let me say, where the Giants' pressure around the ground is pretty good. They're running, they're finding their targets, they're finding their space, and they're doing well. I'll tell you what, if the Suns are going to get back into this game, they need to learn to kick the ball straighter when they've got the easy set shots that should be slotted through for a simple goal. Let's have a quick look at the players' stats now. Let's see who's leading possession getter on the ground. There we go. Sam Flanders, 33 touches for 3 quarters. What a cracker of a game he's having. 13 kicks, 20 handballs, 2 marks, 2 tackles, 7 clearances. And he's doing his job there for the Suns. But the rest of them need to lift. Lockie Whitfield, he's going pretty good, isn't he? Hey, 29 touches, as always, 13 kicks. Tom Green's not too bad, 28. Harry Perriman, 24. Let's head down a little bit as we've just got a few minutes before the bounce of the ball for the final quarter here. Finn Callahan was 16. Callum Ward, 13. Where's Toby Green? Let's have a look at Toby Green. Toby Green certainly lifted his game there in that third quarter. Kicked a miraculous goal over his shoulder as he fell backwards. Pretty good. I tell you what, he came alight a little bit in that third quarter. Expect a good final quarter from him. 12 disposals, 7 kicks. He's kicked the 2 goals won, so his game certainly lifted there. Playing down forward there for the Giants. There we go. Let me just roll down a little bit more. O'Halloran there just with the 9. Sexton with 8. Riccardi just with 8. A few a little bit less there. And as we have a look down There are your positions for your players, folks. We'll have a quick look at the goal scorer. Who's kicking the goals for this game? And of course, Jesse Hogan. He's kicking as straight as you would like to see. He's kicked 3 goals, 1 from just the 6 kicks. He's doing his job there. Lucas has kicked 2 goals there still for the Suns. Toby Green now up to 2 goals. Good stuff. He's starting to lift his game. He's putting the foot down to the metal. As I said, big quarter coming up from him in the last quarter. Brent Daniels still just with the 2 goals. Lockie Waller with a single with Thomas Perryman, Long and Jones. There you goal scorers. Just a quick look at the fantasy points. 109 for Lockie Whitfield. Tom Green 101. There's your leading points getters there for the game so far. Let's get back here. We're just a couple of minutes out before this game starts. It should be a good game. As I said, what do we got? 28 points of difference here going into the final quarter. That's a gettable target. 28 points isn't too much, but the Suns do need to kick a lot straighter. And good old Benny King, I tell you what, he's got to get rid of the yips. Maybe he needs a few kicks from 45, 50 metres out so he can kick through the ball. Try to kick it straight for a change. As I said, that was a disappointing result. And of course, Damien Hardwick, the coach of the Suns, will be pulling his hair out, I think. And we need a little bit more pressure from the Suns up in their forward. But the Giants doing it well here at the moment. 28-point leaders, 10-3-63 to the Suns, 4-11-35. Only a minute away from the bounce. So thanks everyone for coming in so far. We're in for a good last quarter. Following this game, we're going to cross over to the Hawthorn-Collingwood game, which should be a fantastic game. Looking for a Pies victory there. Come on, Pies, in that game. Just a quick update on the scores around the ground. 2 minutes into the final quarter over at Marvel Stadium. And it's the Saints leading 11-9-75 to the West Coast Eagles 5-5-35. It looks like the Saints have got that game well and truly in hand. All right. So as I said, it was a little bit slow scoring in that third quarter there where the Giants kicked 2 goals to the Suns, just the 2 behinds. We need a big quarter coming up here from the Suns. Let's make this an interesting final quarter, folks. Let's head back to the ground to the commentators for the final quarter here between the GWS Giants and the Gold Coast Suns. Good luck to both teams. Here we go.
4 goals. So clearly the mix inside the forward line is not working. If you go in with the same mix, you're just hoping. You're doing nothing else but hoping that it's going to be a change. Now we know accuracy's been a major issue. Maybe that can change, but gee, this is going to be one hell of a victory if they can get across the line here, the Suns.
Well, if they're any chance, they need to start well. They have to jag the first goal of this fourth quarter. See if they can just buy some confidence and some belief.
Well, they've got to kick more goals in this quarter than they have for the game. It's as simple as that.
Flanders just went lateral to Yuland. He lost it in the sun. He let it bounce. And straight away, they're under pressure.
He's a great pressure player, Jones.
Been a terrific find. Weller, just great to see him back with a run under the belt. An important part of the future. Important part of Damien Hardwick's plans, you feel, Lockie Weller.
He's had plenty of it, Flanders. 35 possessions, but maybe he's one that could spend some time in the middle of the ground. Sorry, in the forward 50. He's a very classy player, and they need some class up there.
And they turn it over again straight away on the wing. And Tom Green continues to rack him up. The kick, though, was blind and well read by Ballard. 30 disposals for Tom Green. Just the 5 clearances, but being involved in everything.
Had a big third quarter in regards to those clearances, Joe. He touched on it early, getting himself into good positions.
Briggs flick it up to Himmelberg. Need to see if the Suns have got some energy defensively. They win the ball back here. Well up from half back. Again, just drives it to grass, and look at that. There's nothing.
That's number 12.
To kick to. Buckley's having a field day back there. Over the head of Moyle, who just lopes to it. Darcy Jones passed him in a flash, but then he couldn't take the ball cleanly and then tackles the big man to the ground.
He dragged him straight on top of his body, nearly split him in half.
It's been impressive. Part of that small half-forward line. They do as much defensively as they do in offence.
Here's Graham, the sub. Bedford then all over Anderson.
That's
Giving him
great.
any space, and then Bedford learning again. Lets go of Graham as he takes him to ground.
So he sticks the tackle and then at the last second puts the hands in the air to say, I'm not touching him anymore, no force.
Sick of going to Melbourne, face that tribunal.
Yeah. Big week for Toby Bedford. Would have been emotionally draining. So he's done his job. He's done really well, stuck to his task. Tom Green wants to put it to the advantage of Toby Green. And again, Ballard is able to come across and read it. There he is, learning his lessons, Toby Bedford. Jones, clever. Knew he was going to get tackled if he took possession, so tapped into the path of Ward. He's got the strength to break the tackle. Drive it towards Hogan. He wanted the free kick when the ball was right there to be won. Can do that occasionally, Jesse Hogan. It's distracted, looking for free kicks, but again, being a real strong focal point in this game.
Still chatting to the umpire as the ball's back in play.
Anderson went without it. Toby just lowered the body. He didn't get the free kick either. Yuland. Anderson. And now Powell. Clever kick. Opens up the door. And an opportunity here for the Suns. Surely they can capitalise from this ball movement through the corridor. Weller not going to get past Buckley. Terrific run-down tackle. The desperation from the defender was brilliant.
12 intercept possessions and a couple of tackles for Jack Buckley. He'll be featuring in the coaches' votes for sure.
And on transition, it finds Brent Daniels in game 100 and kicked a couple of goals in that opening term. And relatively quiet since. And he can try and extend this 28-point lead.
I like the standard that this young man sets. It's a great example for Jones and Thomas. He's having a good day again.
Doesn't trust himself to go for home, so he kicks to the advantage of Big Briggs, who got hands to it.
Oh, that's round the neck. Luckily, the umpire forgave him.
A little cult hero, Darcy Jones, 14 disposals and a goal today. You're right though, Dale, Brett Daniels, both sides of the footy, tackles and creates. And that's what all these smalls do. There's another one, Toby Green. Gets to his feet, another kick over the head. And Flanders again, keeps popping up in the right spots. Closey, Swallow got out. Again, there's not really much presence up ahead for him to kick to, so they have to go short to long.
There's just no energy in the group that's just going through the motion stuff really flat.
Look at that forward half. Giants have set up well now. Again, he wants someone to come at him. He's calling for a big, and in the end, the kick goes wide. And
So that just defeats the whole purpose. They take a mark on centre wing, and instead of drawing the man on the mark and creating overlap and therefore speed on the football, they handball, and that forces that next person to kick before the defender's committed. And then they stand there and they're kicking to a long one-on-one or a set defence from the Giants that goes out of bounds on the full. You can feel the frustration and see the frustration from Damien Hardwick as a result.
this time he gets the free kick. Hogan. Jones saw an opportunity to tuck it under the arm. He didn't realise Will Graham had some wheels. Could have been a free kick. None coming. Well done, Graham.
What would the umpire have played there? Like he's handballed it in front.
And then tackled.
And then he got tackled.
Holding the man. His eyes lit up. Little Jones.
Must be a sub clause. If it looks like the old bouncing the ball, we're not going to play it.
Free kick was paid against Himmelberg for a hold on the Koshis.
I mean, the funny thing about this game, if this one goes through, they're still within touching distance. A lot would have to go exceedingly right. They'd have to start winning the ball out of the middle of the ground, and they'd have to start playing like they haven't played at all before. But this is turning into a really disappointing performance for the Suns, but they can finish in a blaze of glory. Got to start with something, though.
You've got to believe. And there's
Not with a kick out in the full.
another one It's amazing, really, how well Giants have kicked for goal, considering what it looks like whenever Gold Coast have a shot for goal.
The breeze is the same for both teams, Joey. One team can't hit the middle of their foot, absolutely butchered the ball. The other team can't miss.
And there's a bullet from Himmelberg. There's Jones again, still full of running. And kicks to grass. Riccardi will fly. And that's how quickly they can transition from one end to the other.
This young man wearing a helmet, his feet are a blur. They're going that fast when he accelerates forward of the football.
He's very much what Damien Hardwick built his premiership era on at Richmond, with these role players, Castagna and the like.
Dan Butler was in those
Dan
teams
Butler
early days.
was indeed, and there's so many of them.
Rioli was a forward. Riccardi. They continue on, just hitting him flush. And now it makes it awfully hard for the Suns.
Well, Riccardi hasn't had a big day, but that was a fantastic moment. And this is the Bunning build-up. And it begins with, well, you stock and trade. You can get him on any shelf, the small forward shelf at Bunnings. And he was a bargain pickup by a very good recruiting team at the Giants. And I believe they shop exclusively at Bunnings, and they have got a real special here.
They'll match the price and beat it by 10%. This has been a great balanced performance so far from the Giants. The pressure has been the starting point of the contest, and they just have this pure acceleration and freedom forward of the football to express themselves.
So the second rucks are on board. Riccardi gets the knockout, and Rao gets the takeaway.
Callahan, terrific run-down tackle. Game high, 34 points now. Feels like it's going to end the same way as the previous 12 or 13 meetings. As we said, they've won 12 of their last 13 by an average of 55 points, the Giants. And it's following script again today.
They just haven't coped with the occasion, with the conditions, with the pressure. McAndrew not going back there with the flight of the ball. Normally you just gobble that up when he's at his best. And he's letting his teammate just run around and kick a goal.
And that is Toby McMullen getting in on the party. They're all getting involved now. That is all too easy. But a wonderful finish from a young man just desperate to keep his spot on the side.
Well, let's just have a look at this. Max got his hands next to him, and now he just becomes a spectator. Now, he's a young player who's going to have the ups and downs like every other young player, but right now he's having a poor game. He's been beaten in almost every quarter, and that one was a really poor one for him. That's a great goal too from McMullen. There's been a real spark for the Giants.
Well, if Toby McMullen starts kicking goals like that, they'll watch out because they're already stacked with small forwards that have the goal-scoring talent. He's been more of a pressure player. He's continuing to do his job week in, week out.
Healthy competition, forward of the footy, Joey. Sets a standard. If you don't do it, you don't get to play.
There is a sense that they are back, the Giants. This will be 3 on the trot. And an ominous warning for the rest of the competition. O'Halloran mops up Harvey Thomas' mess. Kicks into the pocket. Cadman's been trying hard, but tough ask against one of the best defenders in the competition in Collins.
And again, went for the chest mark. He's just got to, if you're going to take the next level, learn from the best. Go with your hands. Maybe chop your opponent's hands before you go up.
Keep a close eye on the defence. Have they just learnt the Suns from that previous one?
They've got a spare out the back.
Sharp hands from Harvey Thomas. There it is in Ward. They're just trying to do a bit too much. Couldn't break the tackle. And the Suns are away and running. There's no one inside 50 just yet, so now he waits and they break. The Giants were right with them. That's Connor Ryden. Just getting the job done. Or that handball's going to set a task for Perryman. He was up to it. He was good enough. And so was Himmelberg. And then they have the extra number in support. Well done. And a real complete performance from the Giants today. Thomas, massive contest, just bounces up.
He did bounce. He hit the ground hard, but he did absolutely bounce.
heard Whitfield calling for the handball receive, so he obliged, did the team thing. Again, Hogan just got it down to ground level to Darcy Jones again. He was touched.
That was really
41 points.
Yeah, that was really good awareness from Hogan. I heard Lynchy speak about it during the third quarter, just the ability to compete, bring the ball to ground. That one looked like it was on purpose, knowing that it was a tough mark. Just bring it front and centre. That's a poor kick.
That's straight down the throat of Harvey Thomas.
Have another go.
Can't believe it, the coach. Lynchy, you've been watching this side emerge. Not the Giants, but the Suns. Where to here for the rest of the season? Just going to think about that one, obviously.
Yeah, but Brisbane Lions in a Q clash at home next week. There'll be 2 games out of the 8 today. The Giants, depending on results, could be 4th, 5th or 6th. He tried to create something. He thought he didn't have the distance either. Didn't quite come off. Lukosius, great chase from Jones. Can that get over the fingertips of Buckley? It does. And Ben King, who's had all sorts of trouble in front of sticks today, will go back for attempt number 6 and try and see if he can kick his first.
Well, it was a good passage of play. It came out of a mistake from the Giants, as most counter-attacks do.
The mind will be racing. It's 3 behinds and 3 misses for Ben King this game. So he can't eat into that Coleman leaderboard.
And have a look where those shots have come from.
All relatively gettable too.
Unfortunately, it's been a consistent game from Ben King. Started with that first one down the far end where it didn't make the distance.
He'd been in pretty good goal kicking form, just 45 goals, 16. So he hadn't had trouble missing at the breeze. As we touched on early, Jared all over at the ball drop, and then it just got in his head.
But it's going to be a big experience for him. It's going to sit in his craw for a fair period of time. But it's a question of, okay, next time you've got a windy conditions, you need to just tighten up the way you kick the ball just to enable you to do this. I mean, he's not the first bloke that's had a bad run in front of goal. Just got to deal with it. Maybe just address your technique.
Walter, try and fly 5 deep. But Sexton, who's always been a goal kicker, that's what he's done his whole career. Nice finish.
Well, it's been about an hour since their last goal, so it's been a long, long day, a long afternoon for these Suns. But it's a very clever goal.
Seen a lot missed. It was the underground and to keep it out of that breeze perhaps, which was the solution. Goes roughly a goal a game. Alex Sexton, he's done this very well for a long period of time.
He may have been an option a bit earlier because he's a natural goal kicker. Kicked 164 goals in his 178 games.
Yep.
Playing forward now, but too little too late. Coming into this game, Dale, you're a believer in the Giants. From what you've seen today, they've got Melbourne at the MCG next week, then Hawthorn at Manuka Oval. You believe that they could squeeze even potentially into the top 4?
Yeah, well, my piece is if they get there and when they get there, they're going to be in fantastic form. Bring back in Callie, Cornelio, and in my opinion, the best defender in the comp in Sam Taylor. This is the start of a big 6 weeks as they launch into finals. They can only get better.
This guy's really talented.
Great kicking boards. And saw Hogan in a one-on-one. They like that matchup, and that's why. And even against the best, he unselfishly gives to Cadman, and that's the team ethos that's leading him back up the ladder.
Now we just reiterate that it's not just all about how many goals you kick, it's how many giveaways and how many you create with your pressure. He's had 17 assists as well. Kurno's had 15, by the way, so he's right up there. But this was a H2 special. Harvey Thomas created this goal, and he was a very, very high draft pick, as in a high number. So it's a great pickup by the Giants.
There's an academy product, Harvey Thomas. And this is a man that's not worrying about common medals, is it, Jared?
No,
Could have easily just gone back and kicked it.
Yep.
But he's thinking bigger picture. He gets his young key forward mate an easy one that might just do his confidence the world a good deal. That might be handy come finals time.
That might just summarise who they are right now.
And he's playing on a pretty fair opponent too. Well, has played on two of them, Ballard and Collins. And here he is again.
You get your reward, don't you? You get rewarded.
And that sharing of the goals, as I said, for a man that's enjoying his footy more than ever has in his career. He's in career best form. He's just enjoying seeing some of these classy small forwards around him, and he just wants to be a part of it moving forward.
You on the All-Australian panel, Lynchy?
No, certainly not.
Queensland haven't got a rep. Maybe we'll...
That's a very good point, Jerry.
I thought I'd just
very good point.
give you a tickle up for that one.
No worries.
Well, he laid a tackle in the first term that set a goal up. He gave one off to Cadman. He's kicked 3 goals, 1. He's been in everything that's gone down their end of the field. And now he's equal leader in the Coleman medal race.
Well, he was first to react out of the centre square bounce. I think it's Bricks that just lays the slipper into it off the deck. Not a lot of craft about this. That's just launched the thing forward. And he beats Ballard by... beats Ballard by... That's his second lace out inside forward 50 today from Briggs. That's just reading the cues early.
Yeah, he was the best. Fantastic read.
Gives off one only moments earlier, then gets his right reward. Well, I was saying that I reckon you still ask for one from Cadman at some stage.
Well, they're two of the finest kicks we have seen. I'm not sure Josh Kelly can compete with that. A bit of feedback on the comparison.
And that's the scary thing. They've got Sam Taylor to come back. Cornelio maybe next week. Josh Kelly a few weeks away.
Very mature performance, because the Suns were coming here trying to unravel the mystery that is their away form. I would have spent a lot of time talking about it, and yet they've, even with a few of their guns out, they have just poleaxed them really.
And they really withstood the challenge, didn't they, in the second quarter defensively, which was your question mark, Jared, whether defensively they could just hold up if they kept turning the ball over, and they certainly did. And in the end, it wore the Gold Coast Suns down. And they might be still full of running. Anderson squeezed the ball. Humphries having a stint out of the goal square. Flanders has tried hard. Ward loving his time out on a wing in the last month or so. Oh, Rao wanted to give it to Flanders, saw the orange jumpers surrounding him. Trying to change his mind, and now Butterick has to go wide to find a target inside 50. There's Buckley again. Now the bookends have been sensational, Buckley and Hogan. Tom Green's had a stack of it. Callahan and Jones has been so lively. Gallard's been able to read a few kicks in this second half, takes some intercept marks.
Well, to put Jesse Hogan's season into perspective as it currently stands, he's on 49 goals, which is equal to his season best in any year. And it was last year with a total of 49. So with 5 rounds to play after this, it's going to be one hell of a number.
That was Ballard's 50 intercept mark. Anderson, who's had to work and fight really hard against the Bedford tackle all day. 26 disposals, 27. And then Sexton's kicks a beauty to Humphrey. And he's another young man. They just need to try and take the next step. He's got match-winning ability.
No doubt about that.
We saw him kick 5 and have 16 against Geelong earlier in the year, but that's sort of been the only time he's really been able to produce a full-quarter performance together this season.
He signed up long-term, committed to the club. Massive upside. He's just going through a difficult period, as is his club, and it's always difficult when you're a young player when the senior guys are struggling.
Yeah, kicked it exactly where he ran out to. Bad day in front of the sticks.
They've had 61 inside 50s, Joey, to 44 of the Giants. To put that in perspective, 61 for just the 5 goals. It's a tough day out.
Damien Hardwick spoke about trying to win on the road. He said they just have to do it for longer. And they just haven't been able to again. And the Giants up the ante. And question marks again will be asked over their inside 50 conversion. Flanders again to Humphrey. And maybe there is something they can work with.
Oh, this kid's got enormous talent. He can play anywhere in and around the ball. Put him forward, he can be a small forward. But they need to get his level up to the dominance of a top 10 draft pick, and it's nowhere near that at the present time.
Kicked the 2 goals against Port Adelaide last week. Before that, he had kicked a goal in 4 games. Subbed in and out of the side a lot. And this time he strikes it much better. Nice finish.
He's got a massive future in front of him, but he's got to get this hurdle. He's nowhere near the level of player I'm sure he would hope to be himself right now. And he clearly wants to get inside that midfield, but maybe he's going to have to be one of these role players out of the forward line. He's a high forward. And you can just see he knows how to play. I mean, he reads the ball magnificently. He's got great skills. He's got great endurance. He hits the ball hard.
And Jeddah, it's probably an indication, because he's either been subbed or subbed out on numerous occasions this season, that he needs to raise the bar with his fitness levels. You'd think he should be moving in with Tuke Miller and training with him day and night over the pre-season to get himself up to that midfield rotation level.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lynch. There's something just holding him back, and I look at the smalls on the opposition side. They're running up and down that ground. They're getting involved. They're pressure players. They're links, and they've been taken nowhere near as high in the draft. So he's going to have the full commitment and restart again next season.
Green squeezed the kick out. And as far as Holman, Swallow, who started in the centre bounce today, has tried hard. The veteran. Buckley's been excellent.
Made the votes today. Look at his pace.
Ash loves to take them on. He's been pretty good again today, although his kicking has let him down at times. Powell has fought on hard. Been one of the Suns' best. Lukosius to Swallow. Hewlin got some run in him. Humphreys might want it to get short. Humphrey, the kicking board. He's an absolute bullet.
Yep.
That's a terrific kick from Hewlin to Johnston.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for almost the entirety of this game. Unfortunately, it's clicked a little bit too late, but that's some nice ball movement the last handful of times for the Suns.
Yeah, jump time goals don't count when the opposition knows the game's done.
And Johnston.
Jump time points don't count either.
No.
That component of the game hasn't changed.
Have a look at the kick, though.
Yeah, that's a real problem. And that's the one we were looking for in the first quarter. I think it was Ben King who just blazed away. And we're talking about a back pocket.
Yeah, Gold Coast been looking for that kick for most of the day. Inside 50. Oh, Sexton read that one. Ooh, strong from Iden.
Jeddah, are you as bullish on what the Giants can do this year as I am?
Oh, the Giants have, they should have played in the grand final last year, but for 1 or 2 missed shots at goal, they're a fantastic group. If they can get their best side back, they can do anything. And I think that's the same for half a dozen clubs, as we know. But I think they've got their method back today. 835 metres gained by a handball. It's the most of any. It's the highest for the year. So they're working on their method. They've got guys at both ends of the ground in fantastic form. And they've got these young whippersnippers. Might be something in that.
And that's the point of difference, isn't it? I think these Mosquito fleet in their forward half, they can all do so much damage. Ballard.
I think Briggs is also starting to find his very best form. And if you've got a mobile ruckman who can actually play like a midfielder, get his own clearances as well, then you're well in front. I mean, that's just a terrible kick. Going inside forward 50, they have got to put more accountability on themselves for their rubbish skills at the moment, the Suns. They've got to start taking a few scalps themselves and just demand a higher performance. I mean, Damien Hardwick can say it all, but it's the playing group that have to hold themselves to a much higher account than the rubbish they've served up today with their ball use. Handballs going to ground, average kicks not hitting targets. I mean, look at the opposition. At least that one's out in front of him.
Daniels got to Jones, who, again, he saw the goals. I think he's Mine was ticking over. Take a look at the live ladder. Of course, Giants, there are some teams below them that all still have really winnable games, but they're making their move. And if Port Adelaide beat Richmond...
It's just who can hold on, isn't it? It's a marathon to get there in the top 4 position.
It is. Well, for Gold Coast, they'll be 2 games out, a game and a half, essentially, which is 2 games out.
So they're not out of it completely, but on current form, they're only winning the ones they've got at home. I think they've got 2 more before the regular season is over.
That includes Brisbane next week, the next year clash.
When you move into the mathematical chance, you know you're gone.
Yeah. Today was their last shot.
There's no mathematicians ever made the finals.
Maybe from what we've seen today, they're just not quite ready yet, Gold Coast. You know, the talent's there.
I don't think it is actually, Joey. I think they're still well short. They need a couple of more serious mids to make the domino theory add up to a finals campaign.
And get to the stage where they actually crave jumping on a flight and going interstate to take on an opposition with opposition crowd, and then have that grit when needed to make the most of the moment.
Well, you lived it, Litchy. You grew up in a side that evolved slowly, ever so slowly, into a finals contender, and then you became a powerhouse. And the steps are not always up, but you know, you've got to keep working at it and keep drafting good players.
That's right, and the reality is it's 2 steps forward, 1 back at times, and it is working through those moments. They've had some good moments, the Suns, this year. They've had some good wins, but it's in these sort of situations where, and the Lions actually loved it, and this is a big test for the likes of King to, when they get on a flight, just love to go into the big stadiums, lots of opposition crowd, and just enjoy that as a priority.
It'll be 16 losses in a row on the road for the Suns if we go back to round 9, 2023. Another disappointing afternoon. Ben King caps off a rough afternoon for him, but it's all about the GWS Giants, and there is a tsunami warning that is blasting loud and clear because they are coming.
All right, folks, there we have it. We have the final score here with the GWS Giants taking out the victory today. 14-5-89, defeating the Gold Coast Suns 6-14-50. Tell you what, 39 points in the end. But, of course, the Gold Coast Suns, they just couldn't kick straight. Any wonder? I tell you what, you got to kick straight, folks, if you want to win these games of footy. GWS Giants there, they kicked 4 goals, 2 in that final quarter to the Suns, 2 goals, 3. The Giants look pretty good there today, but you know what? I still think they need to have a fair bit of improvement when they play the better sides. They just looked a little bit wayward. The Suns today, maybe a little bit tired on the road. Arlo Minatello, I can shout out your name. Good on you, Arlo. Ryan's back. I'm back from my walk. I did a live stream. Oh, I missed your live stream. Sorry about that, Ryan. Thanks, Arlo Minatello, for coming in. We'll be crossing over to the Collingwood-Hawthorn game not too far away. There we go. Hey, well, let's just have a little quick look at the stats there. Have a look at these 2 plays. Sam Flanders, 43 disposals. Holy moly. That is good numbers in anyone's game for the Gold Coast Suns. They had a good game, 19 kicks, 24 handballs, 7 marks, 2 tackles, 9 clearances. They had a cracker game. Lockie Whitfield with 40 also. Another great result from him, 21, 19 handballs, 10 marks, 5 tackles, 2 clearances. Tom Green next best with 34. Swallow with 28. Erden with 27 with Anderson. Let's quickly just go down here and have a look at your players, their stats. There we go. If you want, you can just pause it and check out the stats of the players. I'll just go down this slowly. Jesse Hogan did fantastic there for the Giants. 10 possessions. He just had the 7 kicks, but he kicked 4 goals, 1. That's a good result for him. Great result for him. There we go. There are all the players down there, of course. Ben King, he couldn't add to the Coleman medal tally. He had plenty of chances there. He had 8 kicks, no handballs. He had, I think, 6 set shots. 3 behinds. Absolute shocker And I'm sure that'll be like a nightmare for him. Hopefully next week he puts that out of his head, gets back to kicking straight. Toby Green, some of the people's favourite. He ended up with 14 possessions, 8 kicks, 6 handballs. He had 1 mark, 3 tackles, and of course he kicked 2 goals, 1. There is the stats, folks. For all your favourite players there, just a quick glance at the AFL fantasy points. Lockie Whitfield with 145, topped the ladder there. Sam Flanders 137, Tom Green 120, Harry Perryman 104, the rest all under 100. The goal scorers now, Jesse Hogan ended up with the points there. 4 goals, 1 from his 7 kicks. Jack Lucas, 2 goals from his 8 kicks. Of course, Toby Green, 2 fantastic goals that he put through the sticks for his 8 kicks. Brent Daniels, couple of goals. Lockie Weller, he kicked 1. Harvey Thomas with 1. Alex Sexton with 1. Jake Riccardi with 1. Harry Perryman also with 1. McMullen, Long, Jones, Humphrey, and Cadman with 1 as well. Quick look at the team stats. Well, the Giants got on top there. They had 60 more disposals. The handballs, kicks, well, wasn't too much difference. The handballs, about 30 difference there, of course. The efficiency, disposal efficiency picked up there for the Giants, dropped off for the Suns. Just the pressure. Inside 50, both. Well, there we go. That could be due to the wind or the defensive pressure, but they're inside 50 disposal. Inside 50 efficiency, I should say, was both under from their yearly average. Free kicks, 20 free kicks to the Gold Coast Sun and 10 to the Giants. There we go. Free kicks don't always make a difference in the game, but certainly can help in certain positions. The hit-outs, the Suns won that. Also, they won the clearances, centre clearances, and the stoppage clearances. Possessions, contested, pretty even there. Uncontested, the Giants, they just had more of the ball, found the space. Turnovers, both the same there. High turnover game there today, of course, with the wind and good pressure down defence from both sides as well. It's just that the Giants had better defensive pressure in their forward. The Suns, well, they need to improve on that because the Giants just seem to run the ball out of their back line far too easy. Marks inside 50, 13 to 14, pretty similar. Defensive tackles, there we go. A few more there from the Giants, good stuff. Tackles inside 50, 12 to 13, the Suns by 1, but it was the perceived pressure that the Suns couldn't handle. The bounces, 20 to 3, Giants all the way, had a lot more run. And the 1%ers, there we go, even though the Suns came out on top there and did a few things right, it was the GWS Giants. Let me try and reload this, see if that sets up better. There we go. Look at the live ladder there. The Giants have moved from around about 6th or 7th on the ladder. They've jumped right up to 3rd now. Of course, they got good percentage boost. So they're about 1.5% above the Cats now. They sit in 3rd, but still these teams here to play. The Gold Coast Suns, well, they're a game out of the top 8 with less percentage than the others. So they're going to find it hard on the run home. But who knows, folks? Footy's a stranger things have happened in football. But there is your final result. The Giants winning here 14-5-89 to the Suns 6-14-50. And of course, the folks in the poll today, 31 votes polled. They got it right today with the GWS Giants at 70%. And of course, the Gold Coast Suns at 29%. I still don't know where that other 1% goes to. A little bit strange to me. And of course, in the other game that was played this afternoon, St Kilda won 17-11, 113. They destroyed the West Coast Eagles 6-5-41. There we go, 74-point victors. All right, folks, that's all I've got for this game. I'll leave this on for about 1 more minute, and then I'm going to transfer over to the next live, which will be Hawthorn versus Collingwood. Hopefully we'll see everyone there. 22 degrees here today in Coffs Harbour. Geez, I tell you what, that's nice, Ryan. She's pretty chilly here. Overcast. A bit of rain, not so good. We need a little bit of the sunshine down here in Melbourne. All right, folks. Thanks all for coming in. We will see you on the next game, Collingwood versus Hawthorn, in around about 5 or 6 minutes.